What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the THXCAV Special Limited Edition podcast. It's the best time of the year. It is our first podcast of 2023, and hopefully you are all ready for some homework and have brought your pencils and Trapper Keepers and maybe your protractor and the proper Texas Instruments calculator. You need the good one with all the proper features, or else you're kicked out of the class. So maybe. Oh, we got people joining us. Yes, this is a work in progress.
Hey, Max.
Hey, everybody decided to show up. That's how much fun we have here in the live stream.
Jeez.
Whoa, what's going on? All right.
Everybody who didn't join on time is joining. It's like the bell rung and they all rushed
at
into
once.
the classroom.
Yeah. Hopefully.
They just got back from doing their homework. That's what it is.
I know. Do you guys have late passes? What's going on?
What's up?
Hall passes.
Yeah, do you have a hall pass? What's going on?
I do. It's it's on the keychain.
Yeah, it's on the stick. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Okay, good. Otherwise, I sell hall passes, but they're $15 at this point each. And that's payable in Fruitopia or in cash.
I'm 80s, so I sell now and laters out of my book bag. Or as we used to call them, nomelators. So
Who's the blank guy at the bottom?
that's Secret Luke, Secret Agent Luke. I think.
Nice.
I don't know what's going on there.
So are we gonna keep rolling then, Sam? Or we just
Well, I mean, since we're live, we might as well.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Doing it live?
Yeah, I don't know if you
are live.
noticed,
I'm gonna
but
fill my glass then.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I set it up to start at 8:30, so that's when we go live. So I'm gonna start doing the.
We're doing TBS time, 8:35.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, cool. TBS has got the hottest jam. So let's keep on moving along. This is the LaserDisc Wolfpack THXCAV Special Limited Edition podcast. As I mentioned, we haven't been around since the end of 2022. This is a very special episode that the idea came to us mostly from Vinnie, who's already left. He's in the projection room.
Filling my glass.
All right. Doing some work. But we'll get back into what this is all about. In the meantime, let's go around the room a little bit. Ryan Cushing, what's going on, man?
Well, Sam, tonight's podcast is brought to you by Dogfish Head 120-minute Pale Ale. It is a triple IPA. It's quite heavy,
Okay.
quite hoppy, and the alcohol content is way up there. I know that you had complained about me not talking enough about my beverage, so I really want to feature it this time so that everyone can see. So that's 120-minute IPA.
Do you have the special glass? You need the special glass, though, right?
No. Because, well, I don't take myself that seriously.
Oh, fair enough.
But you can find this at really, really nice liquor stores, I believe, across the country now.
Oh,
so
great, yeah.
Go find it if you want to obliterate your taste buds.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Now I'm going to pass it off to Marcus.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Excited to be here. First podcast of 2023.
Woo!
As always, I'm sponsored by water since that's pretty much all I drink. So 100% water.
Respect. Cheers.
But looking forward to this podcast. It was a fun assignment, so I can't wait to talk through all of our top films and the impressions that we had of each other's films. So this will be fun. This will be fun.
Good stuff.
All right, I'm passing over to Hayden.
Hey, happy to be here again for the 2023. We got Dinosaur Coffee making its grand return. So, I'll just pass it on to whoever's next.
Probably Max.
Max, yeah.
Hi. Maxeene the LDs Queen got coffee and water.
Whoa.
It's a vibe.
Combo.
We're gonna vibe going. I'm stoked on this. The second that I heard this topic, I was like, this is great. Make somebody watch something they maybe wouldn't watch otherwise. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Or you can be like Hayden and give me something that he thinks I would like, and vice versa.
Oh,
We'll see
that
if
was
we
an
got it
option?
right or not. It wasn't an option. We just cheated.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh, hey.
I guess I'll pass it to Vinnie. Yeah.
Hello. Sorry I'm late. I had to pour myself some bourbon. It's from an unnamed receptacle, so I don't know what's in it. It's probably Bullet.
Unnamed
It's
receptacle.
8:30. Yeah, it's late on the East Coast, so we're allowed to drink out here. And I just put three kids to bed.
Excellent. Did you read them bedtime stories?
No, they're on their own tonight.
All right, fair enough. Hey, perfect timing.
There's one of the three kids now.
Yes.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. In fact, you're up
We got
next. Introduce yourself.
Oh, hello. No. Really? You serious? We're doing this?
Yeah. Vinnie just went.
We're on. We are live.
Hello. Nice to be here. Let's do whatever this is. And who's next?
It would be Haller, but he is like on the road.
I think he's apartment shopping in Seattle.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So does he not have
We heard.
the internet in Albany? Is that what's going on?
I know, 'cause
It would
what-
be very Seattle of him to use the internet.
Yeah.
I did this from
Japan.
Sasebo, Japan before, but whatever.
Marcus has been doing it on the road.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. Whatever. Excuses. So let's move on to the subject at hand. Yeah, this is the homework episode. Vinnie, I mean, you are the one that kind of put this together. So do you want to kind of describe your thoughts on,
if I can remember
what it is? Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, this happens because a lot of time is spent in our separate top secret chat that you have to be a Patreon member to see. And oftentimes we'll talk about a movie. I don't know. I feel like I've talked about the movie I signed for years, and then you'll realize, wait a minute, that person or most people haven't even seen this film. So that was sort of the impetus behind sort of making someone watch a movie you've talked about for a long time. We've known each other for a while, so I knew I had a good guess of what was coming my way based on the matchup. So I think did I randomize them, or I sort of put some people together and assign them to each other for some for obvious reasons, some for not. So the idea was to just give that person an assignment to watch one of your 2 or 3 favorite movies and report back. Some were on LaserDisc, some were not, but I think they're all available on LaserDisc.
Yeah.
I don't know if we all have them.
I
Right.
chose LaserDisc titles. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So actually I had to grab mine, but so that was the idea. So I don't know what order you want to go in matchup wise.
That's tough. Did you want to start since you were the,
I could start. I'll let Luke start, and I'm going to pull out the movie I assigned him while he talks about it.
Okay.
Because he didn't have it. He didn't have it because he's sent me at least 3 copies of this film.
Yeah.
Which made me think he had seen it, but he actually hadn't.
No.
I'm going to grab those. Go ahead.
Actually, I would like you,
Oh,
when he gets back
Yeah.
from going to the bathroom,
Yeah.
or whatever he's
Clearly going to the bathroom. I mean, projection room.
Before I talk about it, I would
Yeah.
like him to tell me and everyone why.
Oh,
Please
I
tell
mean,
me and why you like this movie so much.
It couldn't be more obvious when I hold up the film why I like this movie so much.
Surprise,
Gee,
surprise.
I don't know why I like an Italian film about a kid who's obsessed with movies and grows up to make them. So yeah, I mean that's it doesn't get sort of more on the nose than that. I'll let you talk about what happens, but essentially, if you haven't seen it, a small boy in post-war Italy, Sicily, in post-war, sort of befriends the neighborhood projectionist. The theater is the center of this town, and that's where everyone gathers and everyone knows each other. And he sort of takes a liking to the projectionist, takes a liking to him, and he develops this relationship with him. Stuff happens. It's sort of told in flashback. You learn from the beginning. You're seeing this older man who learns of the death. No spoiler there. The death of this projectionist that he knew when he was a kid, and he has to go back for the funeral. And you kind of in flashback learn about how their relationship came to be and what the movie theater meant to the town and how it evolved over the years. And we see the kid as an adolescent, and then finally as an adult. It was a huge hit. It won Best Foreign Film in 1989. It was a Miramax film. Now, this is one of those rare cases where I specify do not watch the director's cut. The director's cut is an hour longer. It does not help the film. I think it hurts it, actually. I think
Or longer. Wow.
yeah, Harvey Scissorhands actually did the right thing. Whoever cut this thing down to about 124 minutes for the U.S. release did the right thing, and it really sort of kept it simple and tight, and took out an entire sort of third act where when the kid is older and comes back to Italy and sees some of these characters from early on in the film. But it is I think I've talked about the movie before on the podcast. It is the best movie about movies that I can think of. it's funny, after seeing The Fabelmans, which was good, I just felt like this was sort of a better filmmaker origin story, even though it wasn't true, so to speak.
You're saying it's better than Last Action Hero?
A little bit.
Just a little bit. Okay.
All right.
So,
all right.
and then, but knowing my Italian background and Luke's Italian background, I found it shocking that he hadn't seen this Italian film about movies.
So my Italian background is not as
not as
much.
Italian.
I was not born in Italy. My grandmother wasn't born in Italy. Let's just get that out of the way.
Okay.
So yeah.
Stolen valor.
Yeah, sure. Because my Italian tattoo on my chest. All right, so I watched this movie. I hate to break it to you, but I watched it on DVD. I'm sorry,
Right.
but
That's okay. Well, I sent it to you.
Yeah, I know. Marcus is really upset.
Yeah.
He's gonna make a face. Dude, okay. How do I know you love it? I do, and I watched.
Let me put it this way. Until this
man.
moment, I don't know a lot of people who don't love it. If you see it, it's hard not to, but you'll find a way. So go ahead.
You'll find
I knew
a
I
way.
could count on you.
Okay, so number one, I don't like flashbacks in movies, but this was fine. That just forever and ever, I'm not a fan of flashbacks. That storytelling, but that wasn't a big deal for me.
It was quick. Yeah.
It was very quick. But the thing that got me was, so the kid loves going to movies. He's in that movie theater. It's got the big lion head. It's so great. But then I felt like most of that first half of the movie was like him watching movies. And it's just like, in my mind, I was like, I wouldn't watch this movie. Like, they wouldn't be showing this movie in this movie kind of thing, if that makes sense. I would rather have been watching those movies.
Yes.
You're like jealous
And
of that
again,
character.
I'm treading lightly because I know you love this movie.
Yeah.
I watched it all. It didn't really do it for me.
Yeah.
And I felt it's like an early 90s movie, right? It felt kind of tropey to me. The old guy, when he came out and he was blind, I was like, this is it reminded me.
Well, not at first. Yeah.
It reminded me of the Christmas Story when he's coming out with the cane. He's like, I hate it because I feel like I'm breaking your heart right now.
No, you're not. It's fine. It's totally fine. Everyone else is going to love it. Don't worry.
That's fine. That's good form. The biggest thing for me the love story was so cringy and so like, when we look back at 90s movies now, love stories are all like, hey, I see this girl at school. I love her. I've never talked to her ever in my life, but I am so smitten with her.
Well,
and
in a town of a few hundred people, in a small town, you don't have a lot of options.
You could talk to her
like
first. You could say hello.
At a high school dance, or no?
Yeah.
Say what?
Dance
Was there a
sequence.
dance sequence at like the high school that
No.
like everybody's a professional dancer?
No.
All right, continue. Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry. So, and I almost find those kind of things dangerous now, because I remember back to when I was in high school and I was like, just saw a girl. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to love her from far away. And that's not what we need to be teaching kids. It's like, hey, you like you should talk to them and you should get to know them and then go from there. But he did this thing where he went up to her and was like, oh, I love you so much. And she's like, no. And he said, well, I'm going to wait outside your window until you love me. And it was like,
Solid.
Or hang out here with a boombox in the middle of the night.
Eventually, she did.
Have you never seen movies before? This is how romance has happened in movies for 100 years.
But as an adult now, it's like, these kind of things are not good.
Sure, but it's okay because they happen. I mean, they happen in movies. I don't think my son is going to mistake what happens in
I'm telling you,
kind of magical realism.
In the 90s, I did. I
grew up in the 80s, and I did the boombox thing, and kind of works.
For sure. Yeah.
The mixtape works.
But that was a scam. That was a scam. They knew what they were doing. They sat by each other at the mall. Everybody knows that. Anyway, that's just what I thought. So
no, that's fine. And it's funny because that's not the part I remember, and I think most people would forget that part of the movie. And the director's cut spends a lot more time in that, which is why it's not great. So for me, it's really all about the kid and the films and the projectionist.
And I get that, and
he's blinded by a fire, guys. He doesn't like the.
I thought of it
theater
like
burns down.
yes, and that was interesting. The fire and the it reminded me of Inglourious Bastards when the film catches on fire. The old film,
the old nitrate stock. Yep.
Yeah, Spencer deals with that danger every day.
Yeah, that's right. He lives that danger
when he watches his movies.
Yeah, it is screening room.
Can blow up any minute.
But it was just too much. Them watching movies. It was like if I was reading a book about somebody reading a book.
So let me tell the rest.
Why don't I just read that book?
Right. I'll tell the rest of you just a couple of things that stand out to me because I watched it. I pressed play today.
Okay.
It was on Paramount Plus, which has the director's cut. So big mistake if people are watching for the first time streaming. It's 174 minutes. They'll run away. But the minute the music starts, the Ennio Morricone score is unbelievable. We talked about listening to soundtracks. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to that soundtrack. So the minute it starts, I've got goosebumps. I'm getting teary-eyed. So let me tell you, without crying, that when I saw this movie in the theater, I saw it with my mother. Now, I can count on like one hand the amount of movies I've seen with my mom. They're all Italian, because why else would she go? Yeah. So here I am alone with her in the theater watching this movie for the first time. And it's one of the greatest endings. I can't really tell you what happens because it really is a fantastic ending.
Now, I can't even
remember. I couldn't even see the screen through the tears. And to this day, like I can't even think about that ending. And anyone who's seen it, I think, except you, can't think about that ending and not get emotional because it's just so perfect.
I'm that way with Gattaca for some reason, so I feel you.
Let me
tell you a little bit about what the projectionist. So there's the priest in town is very important. He's like the most important part of the town, other than like the mafia guy who's also in town. So there's little, everyone's got their little place there in Sicily. But the priest job.
Okay, stop. Okay. All right. I do remember, and I hated the ending. Thank you. It was. So okay,
has anyone else seen this? Sam, you've seen it.
Yeah, but it's been a while.
So out of place to me. So yes, in the beginning,
felt like the whole movie was building to that. It was perfect.
Oh no, it was not. It was.
That's why they spent so much time showing you the movies.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
I
anyone in
definitely
the
remember
chat
the ending now.
the two people.
So the scene where the scene where the priest is cutting out the kisses and everything.
Yeah. So the priest's job is to ring a bell, and the projectionist has to splice the movie, take the kiss out, and then put it back together.
Got it. And
then, he leaves all the trimmings
I loved
because
the
he's
line,
supposed to send him back to the studio.
I love the line where they're watching it and it's like it somehow stayed in and they were like, oh, finally, that was awesome, right? It was like, yes, kiss it.
Yeah.
But the end where it was just all spliced together of the kissing, big deal. It didn't do anything for me. It didn't do anything for me because it felt like, again, this creepy type of relationship, this creepy type of.
Well, it's about him and the old man.
I'd forgotten about it from the movie. I was like, oh wait, and then we're just going to show he's going to sit there just kind of creeping out to all these only kissing scenes.
Right.
It didn't do it for me.
Okay.
Anyways, nobody majorly backing you up so far in the chat, Vinnie, but nobody.
Hey, listen.
Nobody against it.
I'm the only guy
either.
with a heart.
I'm sorry. I feel so bad.
I'm a sucker for movies about movies, and
I do know that. I do know your taste in movies.
Yeah.
And that ending.
You still assign the movie you assigned to me, knowing my taste in movies.
Because it's amazing, and we're about to talk about how amazing it is.
Oh yeah, Jose also mentioned saw it theatrically. It's been a long time. Yeah, a lot of people have seen it like a long time ago. Yeah. There's a nice Arrow Blu-ray. What's the best LD version? Is that Cinema?
There is an Arrow. There's the Arrow Blu-ray, which has both versions on it.
Yes.
It's like 4-disc set, but really the extended is really just for advanced fans who want to see what he did. I mean, he brings the girl back as an older actress and they sort of get back together in Italy. It's really just all extraneous stuff. And it wasn't really a hit when they released it in Europe, and then Miramax got a hold of it and cut it down, and it was a monster hit.
So
it reminded me a lot of The Postman. Do you remember that one? Another Italian movie that was popular in America.
Il Postino. Yeah, like right after that. Yeah.
And I loved that in high school, but that was still like a longing for this girl you don't know kind of story.
Yeah.
It's just uncomfortable. In this day and age, it's uncomfortable.
But what's the best LaserDisc? Is it the one you have, Vinnie? Or?
No, it's these damn cinema discs, which aren't widescreen.
Yeah.
So Luke did send me a couple of different Japanese versions. I don't think they're widescreen either, but they have some cool covers.
Yeah, but what was the ratio? Like one
or letter?
Yeah, it's like 1.8, 1.78, or 1.85.
Or probably 1.66 to 1, maybe. Because it's European,
maybe.
so.
Yeah.
But the Japanese versions are in Italian with Japanese subs.
Right.
But there is a Letterboxd UK PAL.
Oh.
So if you have, international.
It's funny because the theatrical cut is PG. Of course, the extended cut throws in a couple of extra scenes involving the local prostitute that all the kids have to go to.
Well, you should have led with that.
Like in the movie theater, one kid and this other kid's. He's late getting filmed back eventually because of technology. They have to split the theater to book more modern stuff. They start showing movies. They start showing TV game shows in the theater, and everyone's like, "Oh, the end of cinema." This is the 50s. So anyway, that's Cinema Paradiso.
All right. So Luke, what did you select for Vinnie?
Yeah.
So I will.
I think I asked for it maybe because you've talked about it.
Oh, you did.
So much,
I didn't
and I never
suggest it. You told me.
Yeah.
Hey, he created the rules. He could bend them.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a variety of tastes. Okay. Like I like to be kind of wide in my taste. I don't want to just like one thing or that, but I do have a rule. Like it's got to be watchable. It's got to be something that has some kind of logic, even kind of a crazy logic, but it just is. The plot moves forward. The plot is understandable in a way. I see your face. And then, it's fun. It's what the word I keep going to is I can watch it. There's a lot of movies, a lot of Broterian movies, Ryan, that it's just like, I can't it
watch.
Hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts to watch because I can't just suspend that disbelief that much.
Right.
So listen, when I was a kid, when I was in high school, we had the Independent Film Channel. And this was before this director got big, but it came on and I heard about it. I don't know how. I recorded it and I just loved this movie, every second of it, because it's like it's bad taste. Right. This movie is like I think of it like Evil Dead 2, where it's like the perfect college movie. Like they put everything they could think of into it and it just worked up and down. It's crazy. It's fun. There's aliens that come to the planet to open up a restaurant. They want to eat the humans. Yeah. And there's it's a Peter Jackson movie, so it's all
Academy
about
Award winner.
What? Oh yes. Oh yeah. Because he knows how to make a movie. So yes, this was his first one. It took like 5 years to make. They did it on the weekends, kind of thing, with just his buddies. But it shows New Zealand. Like as a high schooler, I was like, I want to go to New Zealand. It's beautiful. Like movies to me at that time was like an escape. That's how I got away from Atlanta.
One hillside. There's one hillside that's beautiful.
It was a beautiful hillside. It's got explosions. It's got gross stuff. It's got all the makeup effects were like made in his mother's oven kind of thing. Yeah. It's gross. It's super. My wife will not watch it. She watched it once and she's like, yeah, no, I'm not. She's too gory, but it's just amazing. Like it's okay. I love it. Go ahead. Tell me how terrible.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm glad you brought up Evil Dead 2 because I'm not, you guys know me, I'm not a huge horror guy, but late in the last 10 or 15 years, I've grown to really enjoy good horror art house. I've gone back and watched things I just always skipped. Carpenter, Cronenberg, even The Exorcist, things that I just kept putting off. And I really learned to appreciate the craft. And I think some of the best, most original movies being made now, oddly enough, are still horror movies, even though there's 20 a year, but they're all doing some unique stuff. So I really appreciate the genre. The stuff I never got into was splatter and gore. I didn't love Fangoria. That stuff turned me off. Mm-hmm. And all the guys I went to film school with, that's what they were into.
Of course.
So I went as far as they would get me into Argento, and that's as far as I would go. But then I wouldn't cross the line, to that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of stuff they were into, and that's the kind of stuff we had to make. So when I'd worked on other friends' movies, that's the kind of stuff we did. We're working on dumb splatter effects and all this stuff. And I'm like, to me, it felt like a waste of time, but I was into them. They were super into it. So I appreciate all the craftsmanship in it. And I know how long all those effects took to make, and the brain coming out the back and
the best
eating out of someone's head. But it's just so over the top that unlike Evil Dead, which I love, it wasn't funny enough for me. Or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, hard time understanding it. First of all, everything's overdubbed.
I meant to give you.
Yeah.
You need to watch it with subtitles. Yeah. It's not overdubbed.
I mean, that's fine. I watch Flight of the Conchords. I get the QE thing, but it's still hard because they're dubbing it and they're not the best actors.
Are they dubbing it?
They were mostly dubbed, yeah, because shooting on 16. I guess they did the sound later. You know, like you said, shot over 4 years, and you could tell every minute of his time went into that when they could. And there's some really cool stuff. And I'm watching it knowing that's Peter Jackson. So, you know, the same way you watch, you know, early Spielberg, or you're just sort of seeing, all right, he's got a good eye. The stuff on the hillside, the rope going down to the body, which is his. You know, he's acting in it.
Is amazing when you
parts.
Realize it's both
Peter
Jackson in that scene. It's like that. Yeah.
But then at a certain point, it gets a little tiresome. Even when the plot starts to form and it gets funnier. Like there are actually some funny lines where the leader of this crew of people are sort of taking humans to make them fast food in their planet.
And when he
there are
eats
some
it,
laughs
he eats
there.
it, and he likes it.
Yeah. But then it just becomes, you know, how much can we blow up and what can we manage with this car in the scene? So, you know, that loses its appeal to me after a while. And it's just the splatter stuff. It's fine. There's no stakes here. Like, you know, it's cool that they found a way to cut up a head and make it look like, you know.
Yeah. When I watch it, it's just a really well-made movie. I don't think of it as like, oh, I'm going to watch a gore movie. It's so great. This is just a guy with his friends who made a great movie.
No, that's exactly it. It is what you see. It's just, I don't know why Evil Dead seemed more polished. Well, Evil Dead 2 anyway.
Yeah.
That one scene, you know what you're in for when Derek comes back to life. Spoilers.
Yes.
Like when he falls off and his brain comes out, and he later on in the movie he comes back. I'm like, okay, this is what this kind of movie is. I got it.
Yeah. He's holding
but
his brains
the over
into
the
the top
topness,
hat.
they push it so far. When that house turns into a rocket, it's like, oh my, and they go into fucking space. It's like, this is you can't get better than this.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So it's cool. And I've not seen Brain Dead or Dead Alive. I haven't seen Frighteners, of course, which is great.
Ryan gets extra credit for repping Meet the Feebles in the chat just now.
Oh, nice.
So
Brain Dead, Dead Alive, same movie.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to go seek out.
That goes even more. That's more. That's a bigger budget, and it goes so big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're gonna love it. I don't know if you should watch Feebles either, though.
Right.
So
I guess for me there aren't, when it's just sort of, there's no real stakes to there's nothing really. It's when it's done for laughs. It's less,
the biggest human stakes.
Because there aren't really. It's just, you know. Now, what can I manage to do with my mom's credit card, and will it look cool? Yeah, it does. But
what's the deal with
it's not going to change my life.
With
I didn't
the
cry
LD?
at the end.
Is that the one with the extra finger, the minus finger?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's got two
this is a
different
sticker
ones,
on there. I guess they originally had it just the finger.
Oh, they put a sticker.
They put a sticker there.
So now he's just like giving the British kind of fee.
Right.
Should look. Here's the Japanese tape. It should just be the I actually put the DVD in to watch, and it's stretched or something. It doesn't look right. I had to put the LD in, and that made me okay. There you go. The 4:3. I love it. There you go.
What's the best LD? That one you have there, Luke, or is there?
That's the only LD.
Is that? Yeah.
No. There's a Japanese one. There's a Japanese one, right, Ryan?
Yep.
Yeah. I do not have that.
They're both open hatch.
Fair enough.
They're beautiful, though. I love. I mean, it's a great watch.
Nice.
All right.
You guys did good.
Okay, that was a good podcast, everybody. I'll see y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Did you give it a passing grade, Vinnie, or was it just in the middle?
In the middle, based on obviously on pedigree and its place.
What did you expect? It's all in bad taste. It's the name of the movie.
No, I guess I expected. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't expect it to be as sort of. Yeah, I didn't expect all the kind of just the splatter stuff.
The icing. Yeah.
Okay. I think I remember another match I made. Did we do Marcus and Max too?
We did.
Do the West Coast one?
Yeah.
We did. Cool.
But
do that one?
You guys want to go next, or do you want to wait?
Sure. No, we can go.
All right. Cool. All right.
Yeah, and then I put them together simply because of the West Coast thing.
And that was a good pair. A good pair.
Yeah. We kind of ended up somehow in that theme too, with our choices. Yeah.
Yeah,
We both did. We both did. So let's do mine first.
All right.
Let's see, for both Max and I, we originally chose films that were our kind of top films, and but we wanted to stick to something that we both had already in LD or was very easy to get. I had a line on Max's first choice, and then the eBay seller backed out. Like I had bought it, paid for it, and then like a week later they refunded my money, and I was like, oh crap. So she chose a backup for me. The one I chose for her originally, I figured she would have it, but somehow in the 7,000 to 10,000 discs you got back there, it wasn't. You didn't have that one. So I gave her a list, and so the films that are my top films are generally 90s films by Black directors. So black cinema in the 90s. That was a sweet spot for me. I was just becoming a teenager and becoming into my own, and so seeing folks on the screen that looked like me were one that was important. And then the films were telling the same stories that I was either learning about in history or that I was hearing in the music that I was listening to. So there's usually a music connection and to a music connection to the film.
Sounds like Cinema Paradiso.
Yeah. Right.
So the movie is Cinema Paradise.
No, it's not. It's not. So the film I chose is Set It Off. All right, you want to flash it up there? There you go.
Nice.
Saw it in the theater. Thank you. You touched me.
Extra credit.
I can't remember if I saw that one in the theater or not. But let's see. I love this film for a number of reasons. It's one of the only all-female Black films that's not like a chick flick, not like a romance, like Waiting to Exhale or something, right? Yep. It's not in that genre at all.
I mean, I have it, but
yeah, I do too. But love the action, in the film. But it also has a lot of drama and tragedy associated with each of the characters that push them to do, what they end up doing, which is rob banks. So it's very cool in that respect. And then of course there's a music element to it as well. So love the soundtrack. I'll say particularly, I was a big In Vogue fan in the 90s, and so there's an In Vogue track on there. I think it's Don't Let Go. That's one of my favorites from the soundtrack and featured in the film. And it really slaps in AC3. Oh my gosh, it slaps so hard in AC3. So yeah, that was the one I picked. Max, I would love for you to hear your thoughts, and maybe you can expand more on kind of your takeaways from the film.
I was actually really glad that we ended up kind of like on the choices that we picked. Like for me, the one I picked that you watched it was like equally tied with the first choice I gave you. But I was trying to give you something that was like maybe something you would want in your collection. I wasn't sure. And this, I was like, I had seen this cover. I'd never seen this movie. Like this was not something that would be like, I wouldn't even know what this really was. I feel like the vibe of it is kind of that darker vibe, but yet it does kind of have this like chick flick-esque cast but it doesn't look like that. And then I had absolutely zero expectations of this. So like I took some notes. They were on this roof and they're like talking about getting paid $15 an hour. And like how like much that was, and how like literally we just are getting $15 an hour. That was like, wow.
Right.
Like there was just so many things, like even like just little things that they say. Like she said, "Man, you're like simple bitches," and I say, "It's just awesome. Like so
calls us that."
So like the love interest guy for Jada Pinkett Smith, like she's like calls him a peanut head, and I say that all the time, and I was just cackling by so many things that. Just like there was just like they had like the 70s like disco party going on, like that was super cool. There was a lot of really good vibes, and like even though it's like an LA movie, I feel like it was kind of showcasing a section of LA that like you don't really see in a lot of these like films that are kind of my favorite version of LA. Like I like Valley LA, and this is very not that, except for like a couple of the banks maybe are like in that zone, but like for the most part, like where they're being like active is not really like the LA that I see showcased in most movies. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
And
it's in the hood. That's where it takes place, in the hood.
It's like, yeah, it's just, I mean, it just feels like everything about it was, you kind of immediately feel like, you know, these people, you like these people, you're rooting for them. She's like, each one of them kind of individually, all literally by like side one, they've had everything like stripped from them that was important. And then like, it just, I mean, the fact that they like fired her from the bank just because she knew somebody, like that was so just, I mean, she would be like winning a lot of money in a lawsuit right now if this was real time. Like there would be that was crazy to me that they would even do that. But it obviously it's a good setup, but just all the way through to the very end, I mean, it's just absolutely like just gut punches after gut punch on all of these things where you're like, oh my God, really? You're like going like, ugh, that's like crazy. But just like the fact, I really hated every time she threw the CDs out of the car, because I'm like, you're literally like leaving like a Home Alone calling card right now of like the Wet Bandits. Yeah. And I was like, stop throwing CDs out of the fucking car. Like I was
that's Queen Latifah's character. Yeah. She would steal a car, and the first thing she would do, she'd have to find something that she could play that would, you know, that would vibe with her. So she would toss all this music out. Nope, not this. All right, let's do this.
I loved all the songs she was picking, but I still just like, stop leaving calling cards by throwing CDs out. They're going to know it's you. Like,
not in the 90s, though. Everyone threw CDs out of their cars.
Yeah, it was everywhere, right? Yeah.
They were dusting for prints. I was like, it drove me crazy how many, like, they were not thinking things through. They literally grabbing the handle of the freaking getaway car. I'm like, you're leaving your prints on everything. Like,
well, they weren't trained bank robbers.
No, I know, but it's just like, but yet Queen Latifah's wearing white gloves. I was like, you thought that through? Like, why didn't you know? I mean, it was just like, just little things like, but I love that. I love stuff like that, where you like get interested. I liked all the car culture too. Like Queen Latifah's like whole, like there was like a whole like moment where she's like kind of jealous of like, but because her car is like original, which I thought was so much cooler anyways. But then she ends up like souping her car up to be like,
she makes a low rider. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she gets like the gold
on switches and everything. I mean, it's pretty cool.
So is there a big heist scene? Because I know there's like heist involved, right? So
honestly, that was nuts. Like, that was, I was not watching this in AC3, and I will rewatch this in AC3. I had this in just like my bedroom player, and it was smoking my bedroom player. Like the whole vibe of it was like, it was just like large and in charge on that freaking scene. And
all the shooting and the I don't know if it was a Suburban, but the SUV driving through the glass. It was all that so awesome in AC3.
Oh yeah, it was nuts. It was super cool. Yeah, I mean,
so what'd you think about the relationship with the cop to Jada Pinkett Smith, or Jada Pinkett back then? Jada Pinkett's character.
Right. Yeah, she's just,
you know, given that, you know, her younger brother was, you know, misidentified and murdered by the cops.
Oh God, that was gut wrenching. Like I'm like, no, don't you dare give him this haircut that they just foreshadowingly showed. They're knowing that they want this guy with this haircut. And I was just like, I mean, that is just like, it's just sickening that you're just like profiled and then literally just like absolutely clearly the wrong kid, like college bound, like just tragic.
So in the end, the cop ends up letting Jada Pinkett go with the cash, because he realized that they were really pushed into this by a set of circumstances, some of which he caused. And so he kind of sees her off in afar.
Vivica too. He caused Vivica's whole thing too.
Oh yeah, straight up lost her job it wasn't even her fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so sadly, spoiler alert. Sadly, spoiler alert. Three of them end up dying in the process of trying to get away from the police. And Jada was the only one that survived, and she leaves the country. Yeah.
It was, I mean, geez, that final scene, like car chase, I mean, with Queen Latifah, and they're just like got the like helicopter shots. I mean, like that was just crazy. And like Queen Latifah, like, woof, that was wild at the end. That was crazy. But I mean, like, yeah, I literally wrote like side 3 was crazy. But
is it CAV? Was side 3 CAV?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
But like, yeah, I literally put Queen Latifah went down so tough. Like it was just
She did.
That's
She did.
wild.
Yeah, she took a puff for a cigarette, I think, and then she got out and like tried to shoot him up, and she took a whole bunch of bullets. It's pretty crazy.
It was crazy. That whole, I mean, just that whole thing, like, and then the track, the one that they feature, they have a music video on the end of side 3 for the
cool.
How's it gonna be? That one's great.
Yeah. That's the song. Yep.
Yeah, that one's great. They have the music video for that. But
pump that one way up.
Oof, that was a great song. But just the whole soundtrack truly was like great for the whole vibe of it. Like I liked the whole thing. I thought it was like I just thought it was cool. I liked that all these like kind of more like the guys that they were getting the guns from, they're all just like backseats to like their story.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
All right, checking in
Yeah,
the
so
chat.
it's very unique in that respect.
There's some
any comments from chat?
Yeah, they're mad that they know the ending now. So
Oh, sorry.
Spoiler. And
sorry, not sorry. Still
What,
watch
though?
it.
There's so much foreshadowing. Like
It's an affordable AC3 title.
Yep.
And you should check it out.
And
Right.
shout out to Gerald Lang. He's mentioned he's friends with Bill Sienkiewicz, who's one of my favorite artists. So love that guy. Anyways, back to the story. So it sounds like that went over pretty well, right?
Yeah. So
I
you
liked it a lot.
generally you like okay,
Right.
good.
yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
I like Heat. I like a lot of these like LA like bank robber. Like I felt like that in a female, but like I'm the director guy. There was like on the end of side 3 that I watched like they did some interview type stuff with the director, and like he was talking about it too. But he's in the movie, isn't he? Like he's like driving a car or something. I feel like I saw his face like, physically in the movie too. Yeah. But yeah, it was just cool. It was just cool to see something that was like it felt like a lot of other things, but just from a different point of view.
Yeah, it's very unique in that way. So cool. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, you want to introduce yours?
Yeah, what was your choice, Max?
Okay. Well, I'll say the one that we weren't able to get was Chud, which I obviously big fan of Chud.
Nice.
Most people in our group know that I love Chud, but I mean, obviously, besides Chud, Valley Girl is like my favorite movie. So
Vestron even.
And he had Valley Girl. So I mean, it's just pure nostalgia for me. I was getting into like 80s movies and just like the 80s in general. And like I was maybe like 10 or 11 and I saw this movie and I was just like, the second that the music starts playing and they're in the mall, I'm just like, I'm sold 1000% everything. I love this. This is everything. I love it. And it just like, that movie for sure just took me down the path of like everything 80s that I love is that movie. I have almost every version of it on VHS tape. I have like 3 copies of the LaserDisc. Like I freaking love that movie.
Not a lot of LDs either. Is there a Japanese one or?
I think it's only Vestron.
I think it's Vestron is the Vestron.
Yeah. I actually have a pre-production copy of the LaserDisc as well. And it's very rotted. So but it's a known rotter, unfortunately, on LaserDisc too. So it's hard to get a clean one, but it's just, I mean, it's so that time. And the music, I just absolutely, I mean, that is one where same thing, like I have the cassette of the freaking soundtrack to Valley Girl and I have almost worn that cassette out and I can't find any more of that cassette. So I'll have to make a copy of my own cassette for myself so I can wear that one out. And
that sweet, somewhat legit 2 LP soundtrack is great.
Yeah,
too.
right. We're still unsure about the,
It's
the record.
So how'd it go, Marcus?
All right, let's see. So I actually already had this because that was our rule. We already had to have it. So or easy to find. So I had bought this maybe 3 months ago from somebody on LDF, and I had not yet watched it. But when I saw it and I was scrolling through, photos of this that the seller, titles that they had, I watched the trailer, And I was like, oh yeah, this is right up my alley. I'm big 80s fan. Clearly Southern California. I lived in Southern California the last 25 years of my life, and from Northern California. So that I have that tie. Overall, I loved it.
Nice.
For a number of reasons. Let's see. I'm gonna start with. So my wife is not a Valley girl per se, like the Valley girls in the movie, but she is from the San Fernando Valley, and she's from Sherman Oaks, where the film takes place. I tried to get her to watch this with me, and she sees Valley girls a derogatory term, so she wouldn't watch it with me, and I've now watched it twice in the last 3 weeks, because I watched it again today to prep. And I told her, I said, look, I'm going to get this on Blu-ray and you've got to watch this with me. So, you just have to watch it. She kind of rolled her eyes and everything, but anyway.
Blu-ray?
Yeah, there's a nice Shout Select Blu-ray if I remember correctly.
There is.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a Shout one.
They did a re-release that recently.
Yeah. My copy is lightly rotted. I actually have a second one on the way that I got for pretty cheap, so it was worth it. Hopefully that one will be clean, but if not, then I'll just get the Blu-ray and we'll watch it on the new TV.
Nice.
Let's see the music.
What is the plot of this? No one has mentioned what it's about.
Oh, it's like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah,
it is like Romeo and Juliet. Yeah. So the plot, just general synopsis. Well, the cool thing is Nicolas Cage is in this movie. I never knew that he did this movie before, so that was cool. So the plot is the main character, Julie, is popular girl in school, clearly a Valley girl, and through and through. But she's popular. She's dating Tommy, who's also the most popular guy in school. And then they're at the beach. I think that's in Malibu. I went to Pepperdine, so I kind of recognized the beach they were at.
I thought it was Zuma for the longest time.
Zuma? Yeah. So it's near Pepperdine, just north.
That's where they shot Battle of the Network Stars. That's where they'd have those at Pepperdine University. Yeah.
Okay.
Quality.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So she sees this guy at the beach who is like strikingly gorgeous, like Nicolas Cage with no shirt, and she's definitely struck by him. Nicolas Cage's character's friend overhears one of the main character's friends say the address of a party that's going to take place that night in the Valley. So he goes back to Nicolas Cage's character, his name's Randy, and says, "Hey, we got to go to this party. The girls are hot. I've seen them, right? Seen them in their bathing suits. Like they're going to be hot, right? We got to go to this party." And he like kind of under his breath says, "Yeah, it's in the Valley." And Nicolas Cage is like, "I don't want to go to the Valley. Like, no way. I don't want to go way out there. No, thank you." And so he convinces him to go to the party, crashes the party, links up with Julie, and they hit it off like immediately. Now, what I didn't say was in the first scene, Julie is tired of her boyfriend, Tommy. He's pretty boring. She's looking for more.
Yeah.
The relationship's just kind of stale. So she dumps him. So she's available.
I love the line where she's like, "I'm just like totally not in love with you anymore. It's like I'm gonna grow old and prune up waiting for the phone to ring." Like
right. Yeah, it's 2 days since you called me. We're through. It's been 2 days. So let's see. So they hit it off at the party. Basically, Tommy gets upset, knocks him out. They drive away. He comes back to the party, sneaks in through the bathroom on the second floor, and waits for Julie to come in the bathroom. And then they leave together from the party, and that starts their relationship. So they basically have a relationship for maybe like a week or two, which in high school terms is like months and months and months, right? Years. So Julie's friends are like, they're pissed. They're like, our way of life is a certain way, right? And you're going out and you're hanging out with this guy who dresses funny. He took you to Hollywood Boulevard in his convertible at night, and he's yelling obscenities to all these crazy characters on Hollywood Boulevard. He took you to a club where, the chair was dirty. So like literally Julie's friend put a napkin down to sit down at this club. It's just crazy, right? And so they're like, you have to choose. It's either us or it's Randy. And so she talks to her parents about it, which her parents are interesting characters. Her parents
they're
are
so good. The parents are so
they're
good.
hippies.
Yeah.
They're hippies. And they talked about going to the Woodstock and the March on Washington. So they're very much hippies. And they basically try to hit the dad. There's a good scene where Julie has a conversation with her dad, and her dad's like, basically trying to tell her to follow your heart. It's not about, what a person looks like on the outside. It's about what they are as a person on the inside. He's really trying to encourage her, to go with the person that you love, not with the person that your friends love, not with your friend group. And so I could tell Luke is just like, this is so boring. So
he's just soaking it in.
I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm here.
All right. So let's see. So she ends up breaking up with Nicolas Cage's character. Yeah. She breaks up and goes back with Tommy just in time for junior prom, right? Because they're going to be prom king and queen, and they end up getting prom king and queen. But Nicolas Cage's character crashes the prom and gets revenge on the boyfriend Tommy and knocks him out. Because there's good fight scenes. Knocks him out.
Great.
And they leave prom together. And it signifies, that she is basically chosen, the guy from Hollywood, right? Versus her friend group, and really all that she knows, her way of life in the Valley. Yeah. So
what came out
Nicolas Cage
is Pretty in Pink. What came out?
This came out first.
This is 83. I don't know when is Pretty in Pink.
Later in the 80s, like mid 80s.
Later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6, yeah.
And it's got like one of the best lines ever, because Nick Cage is like working at a movie theater, and the kid asks him if it's in 3D, and he goes, "No, but your face is."
But your face is. Yeah. and the joke
he drops
totally
the
did not
gum in his
land
lap.
with Tommy.
Yeah.
He's like, huh?
Yeah.
He's like, what are you talking about?
I've used that line
So,
before.
I wrote a whole page of notes here about
I
the
love
film.
it. Yes.
I've covered some of it, but when I watched it again today, there were so many 80s words that are included in this film.
Tubular.
Some of which, tubular.
Tripendicular.
So tripendicular, I have never heard. And I was super excited because
I only knew it from the movie. Yeah.
Right. So I like to jokingly use 80s words with my kids because they don't know them, and tubular is one of them. So
sometimes they're not
my 14-year-old. What's that?
Sometimes they're not accurate. We're watching Better Off Dead last night with my son, and stuff happens like, "Do you guys really say that?" Like, not really. I think a lot of this stuff ends up in movies, but we weren't actually saying totally
I never
awesome
used
all
like the surfer guy or the valley girl surfer guy language growing up, but it's fun to use with my kids.
But there was the song, which was a big novelty hit.
Yeah, Moon Unit Zappa.
Of course.
Daughters, that was a huge hit.
Yeah.
But you're right, it was always seen as a negative. The Valley Girl was not like, I'm sure every state has that place where people just sort of I don't want to go. I'm not driving out to Long Island or whatever the neighborhood is. But eventually everything becomes cool, I guess. Yeah.
So the term itself, and Max, you chime in here, but the term itself, it started in California, San Fernando Valley, pristine, suburb of LA. And so it's seen as like the safe area, right? We were just talking about urban LA. It's seen as the safe area, calm, everything's clean, manicured, versus the hustle and bustle and danger of the city. And so later, after the 80s, like you said, Vinny, it became synonymous with like airhead, ditz, somebody who's just kind of, dumb in many respects. Right. It didn't start out that way. So this film characterizes it, in the early stages as kind of just suburbia, right? In Los Angeles. Yeah.
The first time I went to LA was 91, and I stayed in Sherman Oaks, and I'd tell people, and they'd give me a look. I'm like, what's like, seems fine to me. Seems really nice. Like, yeah, but it's not the Valley. Okay. I'll drive the 20 minutes. Everything's 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm basically from the Valley, and I went and lived in Hollywood. And so I just super identify with this. I've gone to a lot of the places where where those things were filmed, and there's no Dupars where they go for the Dupars. I wish there was, but there's still a Dupars in Hollywood. So gone to the Dupars in Hollywood. But it's just I just love it. The whole aesthetic of it, I love. And I love all of her friends. I've seen this movie at the New Bev, and a lot of the people who played different characters.
E.G. Daly, shout out.
Stacey Daly, I met her. I met the one who played Stacy.
Nice.
Stacy literally gave me her 2 personal tickets so that I could see Valley Girl at the New Bev. So it's just like, yeah, because I knew all the trivia. They were like, she's asking trivia questions to decide who would get tickets, and I was like, what do you want? No, like, my favorite. So yeah, I mean, die hard for this one. I
absolutely loved it, and I told Max after I watched it. I think I sent you a message, and I said, if they ever do a remake, like you should be casting this. Like I could either see Max as like, playing in one of the bands, right?
Yeah, right.
Or just one of the folks in the club dancing, in Hollywood. She totally fits the whole vibe of that side, not the Valley Girl side, but the Hollywood side.
Nice.
I certainly had Julie's exact haircut when I was like 12 years old. So I've gone from Valley Girl to the Hollywood,
Yeah. But, so Max picked a hit. Thank you.
All right.
Good.
That was a perfect match. Worked out perfectly.
Yeah, it was a perfect match.
Unlike
Thanks,
the
Vinnie.
other one.
Yeah.
Actually,
Just like this. Perfect match.
The other thing that started this was Liquid Sky, because I keep saying not only would it be one of the only 1 or 2 Vinegar Syndrome discs I'd ever owned, but I knew it was your favorite, and it's harder to get an LD, so I just sort of I punted that, and I just went with Luke because I knew it'd be easier. Who else do we have? Sam, were you with Hayden?
Yeah, indeed.
Okay.
So I'll introduce Hayden's movie, I guess, and you can tell the kids what you thought about it. I chose, obviously, I wasn't going to just go with my all-time favorite movie. I thought, maybe it's something weird that Hayden might dig or just might be disturbed by, or I don't know. Who knows what? We'll find out. So I chose Richard Stanley's Hardware, a film that I saw. I didn't see in theaters. Came out in 1990. It's got Dylan McDermott in it as this, kind of down on his luck scavenger kind of guy. And Stacey Travis plays his artist girlfriend. And he's, trying to get her a nice present. And it's post-apocalyptic wasteland. Like, there's cities and things like that. But everything's just overheated and nasty. And it's mostly like a kind of self-contained apartment complex movie, set in his because she's a bit of a shut-in. Everything's just so dangerous and nasty outside that she just hangs inside and welds like sculptures and stuff like that. And he ends up getting his hands on this part of a robot that was discovered out in the desert by the lead. I don't know if he's the lead singer, but he's a member of the band Fields of Nephilim. He basically plays his character from the band Fields of Nephilim as this guy roving the wastelands. And it's just got a good vibe. It's got a lot of great music in it. Ministry's in it. It's got John Lydon, Public Image Limited. Like Lemmy is in the movie. Iggy Pop does like a DJ character. So it's just got a lot. The LaserDisc. Oh yeah, I should probably show. I don't have the Obi. I need the Obi, but
no, you don't. It would just cover up the beautiful artwork.
Dude, this is great art for sure. It's a murky movie. The Blu-rays always go out of print quickly. There's a bunch of them. But it's just a really, really just cool cyberpunk film. And it's kind of unfair to spring on Hayden because it's a movie that I like more as the more I watch it. There's more kind of details and background characters and things like that. So I definitely like it even more than I did when I first saw it. It got slammed a lot as a Terminator ripoff, but I mean, other than Killer Robot, there's not a ton of Terminator action going on in it. But yeah, I'll pass it on to the man. I made him a copy of this disc, so hopefully he watched it.
Yeah. The LaserDisc transfer, like you said, it's really murky. There's like whole parts that were
just dark
in this dark apartment where it's like it's not till you get to the end of the scene for a shot where you realize, oh, okay, this is where they are in the apartment. This is where we've been the whole time.
Yeah, it's
now
rough.
I know what's been going on. But yeah, it was kind of mixed for me. There was a lot of stuff I did like, some stuff I didn't like so much. At the beginning of the movie, there's Mo. The boyfriend character at first. My girlfriend watched it with me. We thought he was going to be the main character. We were like, man, this guy sucks. He's a doofus. This is the worst main character ever. And then when you meet the girlfriend and it's like, man, she should be the main character of the movie.
Yeah.
And then she turns out being the main character anyway. So it's like, okay, well, that's a little better. And I like early on, there's a line. I couldn't tell if it was him or his friend Shades that says,
Shades, yeah.
he says, "Don't call me Max," and it's like, yeah, that's the wrong post-apocalyptic film franchise.
Yeah.
That's not right. But the opening of the movie kind of, that almost seemed like the beginning of a movie I kind of would have rather watched, where the guy's roving the wasteland and he finds the robot in the sand. I thought it was kind of going in a different direction. So that, but you know, where it ends up going is still pretty cool. Although Mo is, he's just the worst main character, or the worst like kind of secondary character ever. He looks like Ross. He's twice as annoying. He's just the literal worst boyfriend on the face of the planet.
Shades is definitely way more interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, Shades is a lot more interesting and kind of accidentally useless when he's like tweaking at the end of the movie, and
yeah, like there's
can't really.
Yeah, one scene where he's given this task and he's just completely out of his mind on drugs, and
and like Mo's like on the phone with him, telling him, you know, like, hey, the robot's gonna kill Jill. I need you to go. I'm too far away. I need you to go save her for me. And he stays on the phone with him for such a long amount of time. It's like, man, it didn't take you very long to get where you're at. You could be back at the house spot or the apartment by now to save her. But yeah, a lot of hang on, I'm looking at my notes here. I'm trying
check
to
the notes.
rekindle the whole movie.
Open the Trapper Keeper.
Yeah. No, I texted it to myself while I was watching the movie and then just retyped it all today.
That's dedication.
So that I wouldn't have to read through. Yeah, I put a lot into this podcast. But...
I like it.
Luke and I have no notes.
Zero notes.
But yeah, he gives her the robot as like a gift, and she kind of like at the beginning of the movie when he gets it from the junk dealer, and she kind of takes it and kind of agrees to let him stay for a little bit, and she like spray paints it, makes it puts like an American flag across its face and mounts it onto this sculpture. And then I like the way they kind of keep building, the way you like occasionally see like its eye activate, and you see little bits of it start moving, and it kind of starts to wake up and it starts paying attention to what's going on. And then I did think it was weird later, shortly after all that, the junk dealer calls Mo up and basically tells him like, hey, I need you to bring that robot back because it's worth a lot of money or whatever. Because it's like a prototype military android or whatever, which didn't really make sense that they found it like abandoned out in the desert. It seems like it's been there for a really long time, like it's ancient almost.
That's just what it's like in post-apocalyptic world, I guess.
Yeah, you just find things out in the desert, even top secret, not yet released military robots. Yep. But yeah, and then the character you meet afterward, Lincoln Weinberg, may have been my least favorite part of the whole movie.
Oh yeah, he's rough. But did you recognize him? The actor?
Should I?
He is Porkins in Star Wars. He's the top.
Oh, okay.
He's the top men guy from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh wow.
And he's Eckhart, the evil cop guy from Batman. Yeah, the big slimy cop guy. So there you go. Okay,
yeah, then I should recognize, especially from Batman. He's too creepy. Like I get he's supposed to be creepy, it's supposed to make you uncomfortable, but he's like creeping on her with a telescope.
Yeah.
Like while her and Mo have the longest, most The Room level sex scene I've ever seen outside of The Room. It just goes for way too long. It's so uncomfortable. It's so weird. And
that's why I gave it to you.
Yeah, thanks.
I was watching the whole time from my telescope.
And Lincoln is like talking to himself. He's doing like dirty talk.
Yeah.
While he's watching, at first I didn't realize, I guess just because how dark it is, I thought Mo was the one talking like that. And I was like, man, he's even worse of a boyfriend than I thought he was. This guy's disgusting. But then it turns out it's Lincoln who I guess realizes something is wrong, when the robot wakes up and tries to attack Jill. And he goes to help her out and just sings this creepy little song.
The Wibberly Wobberly Walk.
Yeah, like it's somehow creepier than Leland's song in Twin Peaks. Like it's just
I'd sing it, but I don't want to.
Off-putting.
I don't want to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've excised it from my mind outside of the fact that it exists. But my ultimate. So basically, the robot tries to kill her at first. Lincoln shows up to kind of help her, really in exchange for her hooking up with him, is what he kind of keeps hinting at the whole time. He's being really grotesque about it. And then eventually Mo shows back up, and him and the whole apartment like security team, and eventually Shades, they all show up to try to stop this rogue military android that has like poison dart fingers and like buzz saws and all this other stuff. It can just like repair itself and rebuild itself, which was pretty cool. The robot was really cool. The effects work on it is it was kind of wobbly looking. It looked kind of weak, but with how dark it was, it actually kind of helped it seem more intimidating. We just see its eyes, piercing through the darkness.
Gave it that grindhouse extra.
Yeah,
juju.
yeah. And the disc, I don't think it was pan and scanned. There's a lot of parts where you can see like stuff over the camera to like shade it.
Yeah, there's stuff that was like hard matted or whatever, and so it's just like it's probably like just the camera negative, and so it's just mats show up and disappeared.
So it wasn't like overly dark and too cramped to see what's going on. But my ultimate takeaway from this movie is that so anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. The robot ends up killing Weinberg because he's a creep and an idiot, and he thinks that he doesn't even seem to realize that there's a robot loose in the apartment, even though she keeps telling him that. Yeah. And he goes to open up her blind so that he can keep creeping on her, and then the robot very brutally kills him.
Yeah, there's some intense kills in the movie.
Yeah, there's some brutal stuff. It's a shame that it's so dark you can't see Lincoln get more brutally killed, because it really feels good when it happens. And then Mo eventually shows up, and as he's fighting the robot, he has one of my other favorite lines. Oh man, where is it? He says, he's like, "You can't fuck with Mo. I'm divinely protected, asshole."
Something you can use in your everyday life.
Yeah, definitely. There's a part where they think they killed the robot, and then it turns out they didn't, and it like pulls Jill out, and she's like falls and is holding onto a power line. And Mo could very easily save her, but he's just like, "I can't grab you, baby. You got to jump." And then she does, and it straight up looks like she dies. Like, we thought she died when we were first watching it. Like, the way she crashes into this apartment down under is just,
oh yeah,
she should be dead. Like, but then eventually Mo gets hit with the poison, and he dies also. And then
spoiler alert. Yep.
Yeah, spoiler, I guess. Yeah. And he has kind of a almost like trippy death scene where it's like all this stuff kind of flowing through his head, and him just very, very slowly, painfully dying.
Crazy light flashes. And
yeah, and then the movie actually gets visible for a while when the robot gets chased, or the robot chases Jill into a very brightly lit bathroom, because it turns out that the robot's only real weakness is humidity. Which seems kind of maybe not that smart, given that humans are mostly water. That seems like the first kill might damage it in some way.
Yep.
But then she eventually kills it, and my ultimate takeaway from this movie was that the robot is actually the hero of the movie, because it wasn't successful in killing Jill, and it didn't seem to be trying very hard when it was trying to kill her. She pretty easily fought it off, gingerly tapping it with a baseball bat and not getting around, hiding in the fridge. For some reason, I guess it can
messed
only
with its
see
thermal sensors.
Yeah, it can only see an infrared for some reason. But it killed Lincoln, who was a creep and needed to die, and then it killed Mo, who was her awful, shitty boyfriend. So it's like this robot was really kind of a help for her. And then it seems like maybe she'll hook up with Shades later on. So I mean, this robot really kind of only had a positive impact. And then of course we find out later that the government has approved mass production of these robots to apparently kill a bunch of people so that people can stop reproducing. So I guess that's not good, but she didn't seem to want kids anyway, so that doesn't seem to affect Jill very much. So she'll be fine, I think.
So it's like a happy kind of feel good movie.
Yeah, it's a happy feel good movie. I think it would be good to watch with families.
I like it.
Yeah. So like I said, I think if somehow Mo were less obnoxious, and if maybe, I don't know, there's just something about Mo being obnoxious and Lincoln being overly creepy that really just kind of like, it's the type of movie I would watch again with like friends, so I can laugh at their like
watch them
being
cringe
in pain over certain parts, and then get really into the cool parts, all the more sci-fi apocalypse, because the atmosphere of the movie is actually pretty cool. The way it really does look, it doesn't look like a cheaply made movie necessarily, as far as like the post-apocalyptic landscape itself and the inner city. It really it's really effective, I guess what I'm trying to say. It's a very, that apartment looks like it that she lives in is maybe, pretty decent for where they're at, but it's
good
like
production
unimaginable.
Design.
Yeah, it's unimaginable to live in this world now. This would, there's no way air conditioning exists in this world. I would die. I would literally sweat myself to death. I would not be able to exist.
Yeah, you and me both.
And the music was cool. Iggy Pop as the
Angry Bob
radio DJ was awesome.
Yeah.
That I didn't realize that's what was playing, and I think his credit is in the opening.
Yeah.
So that was a nice little surprise. But yeah, maybe not a movie I would rewatch by myself. But like I said, it would be awesome to a good like party movie.
Yeah. Yeah. See if you can find a Blu-ray someday if it comes back in, or a new boutique.
So
I don't know. The LaserDisc artwork is pretty great. It would maybe be frame worthy, and just to unframe.
Yeah.
For
sure.
That's cool.
Yeah. Did the director? Who's the director again? That one guy.
Richard Stanley. He also did Dust Devil and
Dust Devil's the other movie I'm trying to think of. Okay.
Yeah.
How is Dust Devil? Is it comparable? Have you seen that one?
Yeah, it's kind of similar. I enjoy Hardware a little bit more because of the because of the cyberpunk elements. So it's a little bit more near and dear. But Dust Devil's got a lot of really cool, interesting, kind of spiritual, interesting. It's this creepy, demonic type character harassing this girl out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, he did Color Out of Space in recent years. That was like a big Nicolas Cage favorite.
If you haven't watched that documentary about the island of Dr. Moreau, that's great.
Yes,
great stuff.
Check that out. I think it's called Lost Soul is the name of it. Yeah, check that out. So there you go. All right, Hayden, you passed your test.
All right, nice.
You watched Hardware.
Put it on the fridge.
I guess you can introduce my assignment.
Yeah, so I was a little merciful, I guess, to Sam, recommending a very short movie. This is a 50-minute animated anthology movie, which is usually called Neo Tokyo. That's not the real title of the movie.
There's three different names?
Yeah, there's three, because it's an anthology movie, so there's three different shorts that each have their own title, and even then the actual Japanese title for the whole film translates approximately to Labyrinth Tales or Labyrinth Stories, which maybe makes a bit more sense. I couldn't find anything about why it's called Neo Tokyo. I'm guessing it's because one of the directors is Katsuro Otomo.
It really just seems like it's like false advertising. Like, oh, this is like Akira adjacent. Yeah. So, but the three shorts in the film are Labyrinthos, which is a short that's split in two parts. It sort of bookends the whole film. You have part of it at the beginning, part of it at the end, and it's sort of a kind of pseudo Alice in Wonderland type thing. There's this little girl who's having a hide and seek game with her cat, and then she ends up going through a grandfather clock into this kind of abstract, surreal landscape with all these weird characters like cardboard cutout businessmen, and these weird, goopy like circus creatures, and totally normal.
And invisible kids chasing an invisible dog through a like weird like alleyway. And eventually there's this silent clown character who leads her to this circus tent, inside of which is a giant cinema screen, which then acts as the transition to the other two shorts. The second one is The Running Man, though I've also seen it called Death Circus. All the titles are just messed up in this movie. But the second one is completely different. It's in a technological kind of techno future. And it's got this, it's basically a kind of NASCAR in the future racing circuit. And you have this guy who is sent to, interview. I can't remember. He's either interviewing or investigating. This disc doesn't have subtitles, so I'm kind of going off of
I think he was
a track I found online.
Like a magazine, like a journalist.
Yeah. He's a reporter, and he's going basically to get the scoop on the champion of the race.
I'm sorry. Did you say the disc doesn't have subtitles, and so we don't know what is actually going on in the movie?
Oh, I know what's going on. In my opinion, at least, it's all very well told through the visuals. There's little details that you may not pick up on.
Only the third is a little bit dialogue heavy, but
the third one is more dialogue heavy, but there is a fan sub online, and then these are all short, so it's really easy to just read the Wikipedia page after you've watched it and be like, oh, okay, that's what was going on.
This is like when I go to Korean barbecue and I really love the food, but then suddenly I have to make all the food myself. Like, why am I paying to cook? Yeah, now I got to go to a subreddit and read the movie.
Hey, that's what I do with a lot of my Japanese anime.
I'll just mute
But
Akira. Maybe it'll be
you
better.
don't have a DVD of it? You've never watched it with the
Well,
subtitles?
the DVD resale prices for the DVD is like 200-ish bucks. I got this
Wow.
for 30 off LDF or LDDB. And this is CAV, so automatically better than any DVD. And very good transfer on this one too. It looks really nice. There's a bootleg of the DVD online on archive.org, and it really doesn't look as good in my opinion. May just be that it's a YouTube rip, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Running Man, basically it turns out that the champion of this race maybe has some sort of supernatural ability. Maybe there's something a little supernatural going on, because he is actually able to, essentially with his pure willpower, is able to kill the other racers. And in the end, there's a sort of spectral racer that he's sort of competing against that is maybe himself, maybe another being. It's kind of ambiguous. And that short is more of just a experience. There's not as much of a plot to it. It's really just sort of this almost out of body experience, in my opinion. Then the third one is, like Sam said, a lot more of a plot centric story, where there is this South American city that is under construction, and this businessman is sent to basically give the order for the robots to stop construction in this city. And that really doesn't go as planned. And then when he finally gets things to go his way, it turns out that he's actually not supposed to be doing that. The company has changed their minds. So now he is risking his life for nothing, basically. And then the last short is the follow-up to the opening, which is basically just a nonsense circus of weird, goopy, surreal creatures doing this weird little circus to close out the movie as like
It's
a
8.5 on acid.
showcase
Yeah.
of animation. Yeah. So, Sam, what did you think?
It was cool. I've been wanting to see this movie for a while. I mean, I heard about it. Like, there's this Madhouse, collaboration movie, this anthology. I had seen segments of The Running Man on Liquid Television on MTV back in the 90s.
Okay.
And that hooked me. I'm like, I got to see whatever this is. So in the meantime, like, I've seen like Rintaro's Metropolis, which I like. Obviously, Katsuhiro Otomo, watched Akira a million times. Yoshiaki Kawajiri did Running Man, did like, Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust, Wicked City, Demon City Shinjuku, Ninja Scroll. So if you love screaming guys with long faces, like you're gonna be up in this.
Absolutely.
I had a good time with it. The Rintaro was the first the Labyrinth story with the young girl and her cat. That was the one that kind of I wasn't expecting the most, because it was a little. There was more expressionistic. It almost reminded me of Brad Bird's kind of work on the Family Dog Amazing Stories thing. It's a little more flowy animation, and it's just fun. This little girl, playing with her cat. And I like this one bit where the mother is saying, "Oh, yeah," because Chicharone is the name of the cat, and she's like, "Did your father name that cat?" And she's like, "No, the cat named himself." And it's, I don't know, kind of reminded me of a lot of other like Japanese anime with like animals, being almost like spirits or something like that. But I love the whole drawing you into it. Like the movie starts with you being drawn into this like kind of cave looking situation. And it's just continually pulling you. And then even that character, the young girl, gets pulled into this grandfather clock. And it's just, you just feel like you're kind of losing yourself, getting into weirder and weirder situations. So yeah, that was really interesting. But yeah, The Running Man was the one, of course, that I was already sold coming into. So, but they only showed a part of it on Liquid Television, so I was dying to see the whole thing. That's like right up my alley, because I love the detail. Like I used to read like books of Macross, like all the guys that did all the design work. It'd just be like design porn, and then this thing just starts off with design porn. It's like instrument porn inside this guy's hovercraft. You see all the gauges, and like, of course, I paused to read the kind of write up on his little TV screen that's in there. There's a lot of like Blade Runner-y kind of vibes in terms of like these hovercrafts, and it's pretty badass. They're on this racing circuit, but of course they're speeding hovercrafts, so the walls are pretty much vertical and super brutal, super violent. But it was fun. It got a lot across without, like you mentioned, without much dialogue. It gets a little confusing at points because it jumps from the race to another scene where the investigator is actually discovering that this guy has telekinetic powers. But no, it gets its point across rather well. But I mean, it is just super intense and really interesting. And I love that it was called the Death Circus. Reminded me of like Death Race 2000, stuff like that. It had some vanishing point too. Shout out to Luke, because it's got this character who's racing. He's like racing like himself essentially, as Hayden alluded to, and it's like he's like, what's this guy racing, running from or running to? It's like he's just kind of losing his mind as he goes faster and faster. Really cool stuff. So I enjoyed that. But the one that surprised me, I think, the most was the Otomo piece, because I don't know, it's just so different. Like construction cancellation order. Like if you're like, all right, we're gonna make this like slam dunk like anime anthology, like, well, I'm gonna do one about a salary man who has to like go and shut down construction. Like it's not the first thing you would think of. So that was kind of interesting. And again, this one's got the industry porn and the robot porn like for days. It's got a lot of really cool stuff. Vibes reminded me a bit of Dracula, because of course there's the Renfield character who's already gone to this place and possibly met a bad end. And then this new guy, the Jonathan Harker guy, who's sent to go in and figure out what's going on. And of course he meets this really quirky robot who's now in charge of this entire operation. And the robot's basically programmed to protect this construction effort at all cost, and including killing any humans, any foremen who show up and tell him otherwise. So this guy's pretty much held hostage, very Dracula-esque for a while. But it also reminded me a bit of Brazil, even like Inception, like the kind of limbo city in there where there's like water all around it and everything like that. I feel like it's probably influenced a lot. Actually, a lot of these things have influenced like plenty of films that have come after it. But yeah, it obviously was the easiest kind of to follow story-wise if you have some Wikipedia write-up or some subtitles. Yeah. But it was really cool. And it's a little more whimsical. I mean, I guess the first one's got some whimsy too, but this it's kind of funny, the situations this guy's going through. And there's a lot of, almost Brazil-like this whole industry and situation. Or like, oh, you got to go down there because there's been a coup and the government's been taken over. And then like all this effort put into it. And then, oh yeah, there's been a re-coup. Yeah, now that government's erased again and it's back to business as usual. But yeah, lots of great robot scenes. And it's cool because the robot's like really quirky. He's all herky-jerky.
Yeah, the intense animation, the way he's like shaking the entire time he's on screen. Like he's never still for a split second. And it's like he's about to fall apart at any moment.
Yeah, and he's like venting, like he's like backfiring at times almost. And as the film progresses, he's getting even like he's bringing food to this guy, but it keeps his skills are devolving. So eventually he's just bringing the guy like robot parts or like random gears and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. So that one, I was not expecting really much at all. So yeah, it's definitely up there with, Robot Carnival and Memories and all those other good anime anthologies. I wish I had a copy on LD, but of course, when you assigned it to me, I tried to find one, but I could not. Yeah. So I'll definitely be on the lookout. But yeah, definitely recommend it. And yeah, who cares about subtitles? Just watch it.
Yeah, exactly. It's all beautiful animation. You don't need story. It stands on its own.
Yeah, the animation is fantastic. So a lot of great details. Yeah. And yeah, Vinny's gonna love it.
Can't wait.
Absolutely.
Can't wait. Hardware though, I'd always sort of dismissed as kind of tech proterian and never thought much of it. But
had you seen it though, or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Wow. Cool. Yeah, check it out.
Ryan, what did you get assigned?
I was given a choice of 3. I was given a choice of Akira, which I wasn't going to try and watch and fail to watch.
I had a lot of anime today.
And I was given Porco Rosso, and I was given Perfect Blue, which I didn't want to watch Porco Rosso because that's more Ghibli and cartoonish, and I'd probably watch it with my son before I'd watch it for the podcast.
Yeah.
So I decided to watch Perfect Blue, and it's an anime. It's not in English, so if you can't understand Japanese, find a DVD or Blu-ray that's dubbed or has a subtitle track.
So Howler gave you 3 animes to choose from. That's surprising. I figured at least one, and maybe one Disney.
No, I mean
the Disney all in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect Blue is kind of uncomfortably rapey at times. I'm just gonna go right into it. Like, it has some like horror elements. It's about a pop singer who decides to shed her like pop idol image and go into the world of acting, which is, grimy and, risque and sexy. And at times it made sense. At other times I had to go back and watch because like there were sequences going on. This pop singer's getting stalked and she doesn't know what's real. And then you realize, oh, wait, we're back in the TV show and not in her mind. And then the stalker was killing people around her. And it was okay. But man, watching cartoons get raped is weird. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I guess if I was into anime, I would, but I don't know. But the ending was kind of interesting. It had like a chase sequence with this character whose like pop idol self was chasing her and trying to kill her, but it wasn't her at all. And it made no sense how this character was able to chase her and keep up with her while like just prancing along like this perfect anime princess. I don't know. People really like it. I did not. So
they're liking it in the chat. Crash Override mentions the special collection box. Do you have that?
No, because it's not in English. Even if it had like a subtitle track or something, or a dub, I'd watch it. But no,
right.
I try not to buy anything that I have to like add a third-party piece of hardware on top of when we have this modern technology called Blu-ray.
Just raw dog it, bro.
Well, some of it you can, but there's way too much dialogue in this. When it comes down to like actual dialogue and trying to figure out what's going on, you need to be able to understand it. I hate to say it. So
yeah, Perfect Blue. You can't follow Perfect Blue with just the visuals. You do need the context of the dialogue.
Yeah.
So
100%.
as a person who doesn't really get anime, I ask people who do a lot. I say, hey, what am I watching? What do I need to watch to get it? And Perfect Blue comes up a lot. They say, oh, you got to watch this one. So it's interesting your take on it.
It's funny. I
want to watch it.
Yes.
Yeah, as I'm in the same boat. I don't get it either, but there's this sort of stigma with anime because of hentai that it's over sexualized, and this sounds like fits that mold. But is this something that's common to a lot of anime? Is it a Japanese thing? Like what's happening in these things?
I feel like all of my like experiences with it are like anime is oddly sexual at times. Just it's weird, like sometimes it's repressed or something. I don't know. Maybe
it's because they can't. Luke, you can tell us, you've been there a lot. Is it because the society in general they don't have that outlet in other media, so anime becomes the catch-all for where they can?
I would say so. Yeah, if you're talking about censored pornography, sure, I would say that.
Okay,
but also there's weird sexual stuff going on in Japan, and generally like. The high schoolers are still wearing these short skirts. Like even in the winter, they have to wear these super short skirts. It's oddly uncomfortably, yeah.
But anyways, Vinnie, you might like some Studio Ghibli stuff, but Satoshi Kon, who did this, his stuff is more like an art house film that just happens to be animated. I think you would like Tokyo Godfathers and probably some of his other stuff. So that might be your. Maybe not Perfect Blue. I don't know, but that might be your gateway.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. It could have, if it was more realistic, it could have been a really solid like giallo type thing.
Yeah.
But there were just parts of it that like I'm like, how is this going from this prancing ghost type creature to a person chasing her, and her mind's fractured and she doesn't see it, but like the physics of her chasing her at the end just totally was like, okay, this doesn't make sense. I mean, it does, but doesn't at all in the context of it trying to be more psychological than anything.
Yeah.
So, okay. It's fine.
But yes, the box set is supposedly magnificent. I don't have the special collection. There's like a couple releases. It's like tiered in terms of deluxe.
It has an AC3 track. So if you're like, I believe, so if you're, looking for that, go
extra
for it.
punch. Yeah. So, all right. So what did you assign for Haller? And then Vinnie, you're probably not going to read Haller's manifesto, right?
No.
All right. I'm going to have to do it. I knew you were going to.
No, I'll read it. I got it right here.
Oh, you want to do it? All right. Well, Ryan can introduce.
I gave him three options. I gave him Avenging Force.
Yes. Wow.
Michael Dudikoff and Steve James, and an amazing fight sequence in a swamp.
Is that an illustration?
Mardi Gras chase, etc. Yeah, this movie is just peak everything that Canon Films represented in the 80s. And then I gave him a horror movie that's completely over the top and totally not Die Hard. Hard to Die.
Nice.
It's an NC-17 ridiculousness with 5 women working in a lingerie outlet in a high-rise. Yep.
So not overly sexualized like Perfect Blue, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not overly sexualized. You can see her. Oh wait, you can't see her face.
It's very classy.
Is the outlet for tenants of the high rise only, or it's like a mall?
This is just absolute batshit, like horror, jokingly funny
Okay.
Horizon garbage. It's pure garbage. But I wanted to throw like a garbage title at him to see if he wanted to watch that. And then I threw him a masterpiece. I'm not sure why this isn't Criterion Collection yet, but this is No Holds Barred.
Yes.
4K is coming soon.
Multiple copies because it's so good.
Yeah, do you have
Yeah,
Tiny
you've
Lister's
got
signature on there or
Wolf
what?
Hogan and Tiny Lister.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
But I do
Classic.
have, this is an import from somewhere in Asia, so I got the sticker on it. But just a pure hook into the wrestling world with one of the most dynamic people from the era by far. Love him or hate him, Hulk Hogan was on top of his game and knew how to work a camera. So
Yeah.
But so I tried to give him a range of like pure action to ridiculous horror to goofy cheese, and I don't know which one he picked.
All right, you want to do it, Luke?
Yeah,
He
I'll do
picked
it.
the bad
All right.
one.
He just skimming through this very long thing here. He did not pick No Holds Barred. I'm sorry. And that's clearly the best one.
That would have been the easy route, I think.
Yeah, true. All right, here I go. Let me get my holler voice. Hey, everybody, I'm holler.
Get yourself a blanket.
What? All right. First of all, I would like to thank whoever's taken the time to sub in for me and read my thoughts on Ryan's recommendations. I appreciate it. No problem.
Yeah.
Ryan recommended 3 films from his collection to me that encapsulated what I suspect is not his absolute favorites. I mean, come on. But an approximation of what he values the most in the movies that he loves to collect: the Broterian, the direct-to-video industry, and the scrappy forgotten films that don't make it into the canon of film history. Come on, let's keep going. His movie choices were diametrically opposed to what I consider interesting in cinema, and I appreciate
Excuse me, Chris
willingness
Haller.
to not cater his
Chris,
film choices. Okay.
Chris,
What?
is this a book report or is this
Yeah. Do you want me to?
He is
I'm
a
gonna-
teacher, guys. He's a
this
teacher.
is pretty long.
I mean,
This-
you can judiciously trim the fat if you need to.
I
Okay,
bet-
of his
I
3
bet
titles, the
AI
only
wrote it
one
anyway.
I watched to completion was a movie called Hard to Die.
Nice.
What a fucking title. The premise of this film is simple. 5 attractive women are hired to do some inventorying and record keeping for some sort of business. During the onboarding process, they, for some reason, accept a package that no one really knows anything about, for reasons. Shortly thereafter, they're ferried off to the seemingly deserted floor full of boxes. Awesome. They open the unknown package, releasing a relentless demon that forces them to fight for their lives while wearing as little as possible. This all tracks. This is good.
More supernatural than I expected.
Full of wooden performances, cheap tricks, bad dialogues, and cheap special effects, the movie is a tough watch. Clocking in at just under 80 minutes, it stumbles its way into getting our women together, getting them to take their clothes off, and finally ripping them apart. Its pacing is wild. It spends a lot of time trying to sell us on why these women get together. It stops and spurts, pausing for conversations rather than focusing on violence, which is the movie's strong suit. If it can be called that. It builds weirdly and blandly into a finale in which it's 2 women and a man whose only purpose is to be a weak red herring against the demon, and the only thing between life and death is an assault rifle. All right. Here's a good one. Incredibly, 2 ladies running from the demon walk into a room full of assault rifles. One of them says, "My dad was a Marine. I probably know how to use one of these. The rest is history." Yeah, okay. I'm going to...
All right.
Let's keep going. Hold on. I didn't really vibe with Hard to Die, and I don't think Ryan expected me to. But after reading up on its production and learning that its director was hired on his ability to put together a functioning movie in 7 days, it's Wynikoff, right? Jim, whatever his name is. I respect it. I don't think Spielberg and the best writers could have done better under the same circumstances. I mostly certainly couldn't in the right context. It's actually pretty interesting. I did watch about half of one of Ryan's other recommendations, Avenging Force, starring Michael Dudikoff, and oddly enough, featuring Star Trek legend Mark Alamo. This movie, produced by Cannon, is a real man's man of a movie. The action is hot. The script is paper thin. Dudikoff and his peers are so righteous, and the bad dudes are so bad that you can't help but root for these brick wall, dense, American as fuck heroes.
All right.
It is unlike Hard to Die, a movie with a plot, definable character, and a decent script, and some wonderful performances. Blah, 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 blah. Avenging Force ain't going to make it to the Sight and Sound list anytime soon, but it's genuinely entertaining movie. I look forward and eventually checking back in with this one when I have the time. So he says nothing about Hulk Hogan, which is interesting.
Step aside, John Dielman. Hard to Die.
Yeah.
I honestly can't believe that he watched Hard to Die out of all.
That's amazing.
I threw that in for him to not watch.
Right.
Shout out to Tim Allen in the chat. He's repping Hard to Die. Yep.
All right.
It's hard to find. Him and I had the discussion, and he was going to try and pick up one of them, and they've become like unobtainium on LaserDisc. They've just like vaporized, so I don't know why.
Yeah, out of those, is the Hulk Hogan one the easiest one to actually get your hands on?
It used to be Avenging Force was like, you know, a $15 movie, and now it's not even there, or it's really expensive when it does show up. Like, I guess like we destroyed the price on that one. Sorry, guys.
I mean, it was behind you on your shelf for like what, 30 episodes?
Well, it's in the intro. That's what I'm holding. So, I mean, maybe people wanted to check it out. It's pure cheese. It's great Canon like films. Like if you're thinking of Canon in the 80s, Avenging Force is so good. I'm sorry.
So how'd we do, Vinnie?
Great. That was fantastic.
Right. Do we have a winning
That's
movie?
Exactly what I wanted. A winning movie. I don't know if there's a winner or a loser.
Yeah.
Hopefully some people will watch, people who listen will watch some of these, and we'll, you know, I haven't seen Valley Girl in a long time. I want to circle back to it because obviously, having lived through the 80s, it was, you know, certainly part of our culture. But I do want to revisit it. Hardware, like, different than what I thought it would be. So, yeah, there's a few things I definitely want to check out.
Nice. Excellent. Well, thanks for assigning this to us. Maybe we'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys want to do some pickups?
Yeah.
Do we still buy these things? Or?
I mean, I didn't really buy anything last month, so I've got a couple things, so I'll be quick. We'll make it fast. Got a little baby one. Got Tears for Fears video singles.
Cute.
Yeah. Mad World Change and Pale Shelter. So
Wow.
there you go. Nice.
Awesome.
Good.
Luke sent me this randomly. This is all probably going to be Luke's. He sent me one of the blue on blue great cockpits. I think there's a volume 2, and there's a whole series of airplane laser discs.
Oh my
This-
Wait. So
This is
this
very
movie
cool.
is not about your mom?
This is not about my mom. Yeah. But yeah, it's got some
Great
Lockheed.
cockpits.
It's got some.
God damn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's got a simulator. It's got some Boeing action in here. It's got some Lockheed, and then it's just a couple flights
That's so
in Japan.
funny you say that. My son just is taking a drone class in middle school, which is pretty cool. But suddenly they're looking at these flight simulators, and he's into all this stuff, and he's like, "Oh, I'm taking the Top Gun jet and simulating a flight to Europe and all." Like overnight. I mean, they had never even asked me about a plane in his life. Not that I would know anything, but suddenly he's into like flight simulators. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, this might have been filler in a package you sent me, and then I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this on
Neat.
like
The great
Friday night, and I'm like, this is
You
oddly
watched
compelling.
The whole thing.
I did. I watched the
Wow.
whole thing. The surround
Very
sound
nice.
is actually fantastic. It's in Dolby Surround, and it was kind of like marketed as this cool surround thing as well. And there's all the chatter, the headset chatter, and everything, and the
Yeah.
air traffic stuff is
That's
all
neat.
around you, and it's really cool.
This is
You know,
totally
there's
cool.
this whole
Flashlight.
movement.
Yep.
There's this whole slow TV movement that Sweden has pioneered.
There
I
we
heard
go.
someone talk. Maybe it was Chuck Klosterman talking about a podcast recently where he just goes to like Tubi and watches slow TV. It's just like trains
Oh,
You know.
I've seen those. Yeah.
riding there.
So now,
Yeah, it's
now we
cool.
need more airplane discs because that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
I have more for you.
oh,
I have more
nice.
for you.
Also sent me Hamster Factor. So, yeah. Speaking of Terry Gilliam.
You already have that, by the way.
Yeah, but this has
Right. Like it's got the obi.
this has an Obi, which
There you go.
it's lame, but it's cool to have an
Yeah.
Obi.
Wait, what is that? Is that what is it? 12 monkeys?
Special.
with
It's
different
a
titles?
special feature.
It's
right?
a feature-length documentary about the making of 12 Monkeys. So
It's on the box
that's
set.
cool.
It is, yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
I think it's a French director.
Pretty cool. They
Uh,
released it separately. Huh?
Louis Pepe and Keith Fulton did it. Yeah, so in
That's
Japan you could buy it separately.
Right.
It's its own thing. So,
Nice.
and it's got the cool sample sticker, which my other one didn't have. So
Oh yeah.
Again, glad you like it.
Yeah. But I think the reason he sent me that was because I needed the copy of the director's pan and scan of True Lies, so I can see that full 4:3 version. So, yeah, see all those extra bits
Open
of
hatch.
open. No, it's not because it's Super 35. You shut your mouth over there. So,
Hatchback?
yeah, there's a crappy looking TV show of this coming out soon. So get ready, everybody.
Yeah, that's what I learned watching the Super Bowl, that there was a True Lies TV show.
Yeah, and then Luke sent me a bunch of other scenery stuff, so now I'll just throw these out quick because I wasn't even expecting this. So we got some mountains, so that looks fun.
Yes.
Yep. Dolby surround. We got the Canadian Rockies, so that's gonna be nice. We got some NHK.
Sorry, I mute myself real quick.
We got some castles. So
Ooh.
I have a feeling that he's like, yes, these are out of my house.
Looks like I can't believe people like my garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched them yet. They might be horrible. National parks. Yep. We got some more.
Ones are cool.
Yeah, national. I don't know if there's as good as airplanes. This one's got to be rad because it's New England. You know, New England autumn.
Just
stuff.
all Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah,
Bro.
it's like a couple leaves.
These look like some that are U.S. pressed ones. Those ones look like they're the Japanese version of a couple U.S. ones.
Yeah, like this one, looks super like a U.S. disc, and then I think this one too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what's the last one? Oh no, I showed that one. Oh yeah, this one, Portrait of England with Wynton Marsalis doing some music.
Oh yes, I have that one.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Fancy.
But yeah, so I did not buy any of this in January except for this random one. At least I think it's in here. Hold on. Ryan might be able to talk about this as well. All of a sudden, I got a notification to get on eBay and get a loose copy of Holy Virgin versus the Evil Dead. So it is just a loose disc. And yeah, we're kind of discovering more about this as it goes. So we'll be reporting back on that. That's about it so far. What do you got, Ryan?
I got some movies.
I bet you did.
I tried not to buy too much online, which worked out poorly. But anyways, I was chatting, and one day Bill mentioned that somebody had posted some Korean discs on eBay. And I don't buy too many random things that I already have, but I couldn't pass this up. It is a Korean pressing of The Howling.
Wow. Very cool.
I'd never seen it before. It's just 4:3 with Korean subtitles, but it's the movie The Howling, and the pressing's not bad. It's nothing special, but I have 3 Korean titles total, and they don't come up, and they usually don't come up in movies. If they do show up, that are worth getting. But The Howling, pretty cool.
Cool. Great cover.
Yeah, it's just a really cool display. They did a good job with it.
Yeah,
and
that's nice.
From a pressing company, or from a company called Nieces Cinema. They did, I think, almost all of the Korean market.
Wow.
Then I got some other random garbage from God knows where. So we'll show off some of that. Eyes of the Prey.
Oh.
I definitely didn't cut and paste these guys on the cover, and then
Of course not.
poorly photoshopped that.
Yep.
The back is more the same, just shots from the movie. So there's
Daggers.
definitely some stuff going on. Lots of knives. There's a knife there,
Yeah.
and
And a gun.
action. Yeah. Well, I mean, a gun is just guaranteed in my movies. I think it's a requirement.
Yeah, there's crosshairs on the front, so.
Yeah. So it was definitely one I'd been looking for. I knew it was out there, but I never had snagged a copy, and I didn't want to pay anything for it because it's probably not good. But them's the breaks. Rolling on, Cat Chaser.
Is that,
Wow.
You know what this is?
is that RoboCop?
It's RoboCop.
Is it?
Looks like a
Charles Durning. Charles Durning.
No, that's
No,
not
but that's
Charles
Weller,
Durning.
isn't it?
I know
It's
Charles
Phobo
Durning.
Cop.
Frederick
That's
Forrest.
Totally looks like Peter Weller.
Thomas
Gotta be.
Gillian.
RoboCop.
Juan Fernandez.
Did you say
No Peter
Phobocop?
Weller?
Yeah, it must be
Phobocop,
Phobocop. And where's it at? It's a Vestron,
Ooh.
Wow.
so you know it's good.
Yes. Sold.
Make
And
sure to crank it up so you can
oh
hear
yeah,
it.
so they buried the lead.
Peter Weller?
Kelly McGillis.
RoboCop.
Yes,
Figure
yes,
one.
RoboCop.
Like, he's not even
He's-
on the cover.
He's
We're
Top Gun.
vindicated.
They-
Yeah, I'm like,
No way.
but anyways, I
Wow.
have no clue what this is. I don't know if it's a shitty thriller. I
It's
don't
good.
know if-
It's got RoboCop.
Hell
It didn't
yeah.
even say RoboCop.
He's getting him some
Yeah.
fights. So we
This
got
is
like-
that.
legend.
When you go to like a Comic-Con to get him to sign RoboCop, you
Please
put that
get
in front of
this.
him instead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he probably doesn't even remember making it.
No,
so.
no way. Call his agent
All right,
right away.
We'll move on to movies that you guys have heard of. Technofear.
Wow.
Terry O'Quinn, though.
Yeah, you know Terry O'Quinn.
He's from Lost, and he was a stepfather.
Yeah, totally.
He's a real
And
actor, I swear.
Wow.
look at this. You've got I don't know if he's doing like some kind of Mortal Kombat or that's technology. I no idea.
I think
but
it's
he's got a
starring the helicopter.
Yes.
It might be. You know, it's on the front and the back. So
I
maybe.
know. He's a lead actor, the helicopter.
Yep. Danger Zone.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Good cat. I thought I saw some Zane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you
That is
can't
an
go wrong with
unflattering
Billy Zane.
photo of Robert Downey Jr.
No way Downey knows he's in that. No way.
He does not remember making it either. Look at that. We've got a bazooka. Like this looks good.
Yeah. Good cast.
How many titles are, on LD are known as Danger Zone? I'm really wanting to know this. I feel like there's too many.
Probably more than one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's just,
There
I feel
is-
like that's not matching
Probably
what
Zone of Danger.
So.
There's a US version of Danger Zone actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
so-
I have it then.
I opted for the crazier one.
Of course.
Is anyone a fan of The Boz?
Wow.
Back in
I
business.
didn't even see the end. It just looked like it was back business.
Yeah.
Business.
Like,
Yeah, I just
the
see that.
design on this is so like oversaturated.
Yep.
It's great.
Who's
Who's the
the
co-star?
other guy?
Yeah, who's the other actor?
He
It's
is
not Wesley
also
Snipes.
Brian Boz. No,
He's
no.
both dudes.
Joe
Sorry, man.
Torre.
Who is
Joe
it?
Torre.
Joe Torre.
The
Oh,
Yankees
really?
coach?
Hang on. We've got is that no Brian James? That's not him.
No, Brian James is Blade Runner guy.
Yeah, I was like, no, wait, that's not him.
Yeah.
I don't know, to be
Alright.
honest.
Weird.
I haven't seen it yet, but it's
Just
the
the
Boz.
boss.
And it's only like I think it's an Indonesian or Singapore pressing. So
Is that Dolby Digital?
Dolby Spectral recording, I think.
I think it's
yeah,
Dolby
it's definitely okay. It says all of them. It's got
Oh,
Dolby
yeah.
stereo digital spectral recording. So depending on
DTS.
how you plug it in,
Wow.
you get any of the
It's
choice.
DTS.
It's all of them. Yeah, it might also be DTS.
Love it.
Yeah, it's probably just stereo, but
Mm-hmm.
let's not discourage that. Interaction. We've
Ooh.
got Doug O'Keefe and Michelle Johnson. So we got a sniper and some more gun sequences. So
Wow.
no idea. Looks
Wow.
cool. This one's for Spencer. It's
Yes.
Bras.
it's the bras. This is obviously pre Goldeneye, but you know, cool enough to
Mhm.
Wonder if it's a TV movie.
I think so.
probably.
Yeah.
It's probably like PG.
Yeah.
Hamster with double OK. You know.
Better than
Wow.
Goldeneye.
Wallace Shawn
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it is.
Nice.
and
He's-
what's her name?
I don't think he
Brigitte Nielsen.
Bridget Nielsen. Wow.
Yeah, did Wallace make the cover? No, of course.
Yeah, he's
not.
on there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He didn't make his name's not on the
Oh.
cover.
Oh,
yeah.
got it.
Yeah, but I think he got on the back
He's
cover.
not selling
Let's see.
tickets.
Yeah, yeah. And it drops Princess Bride too.
Well, of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
Obviously.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then I got a couple of movies. Has anyone heard of Munchie?
Ooh.
No.
Wow.
I think Vinnie's probably seen this.
Vinnie's
So
heard
No,
of Roger
I-
Corman.
My
This
night.
is
Corman
I've
presents.
heard of Roger
Legendary
Corman.
Roger Corman.
Not heard of Munchie.
Wow.
Amazing.
And then Munchie Strikes Back.
He looks like that one cereal mascot. What's your Honeycombs?
Yeah.
He looks like the honeycomb mascot.
They probably ripped the honeycomb mascot off.
Looks like a Manchi cheat,
Says-
too.
E.T. on the back.
Yeah.
No, it's Munchie.
Kinda like Garbage Pail Kids.
It's as good as E.T.
you know.
Equivalent.
Yeah.
Got a sweet welcome to Oblivion.
Look at that.
Oh,
Look at this cover.
Yeah.
Nice
that's
art.
great.
And then the back is Welcome to the Future.
Yeah.
Getting out is
Wow.
insane. going in is insane. Like,
Yeah, which is the start of that?
I
Yeah,
don't
which
even
way are
know.
you supposed to read that?
Yeah.
Right to left?
I
or
think it's
left
like
to right?
right, left, middle.
yeah, I don't know.
I love how Ryan can't be bothered with anime, but he's watching all this shit. It's great.
That's the best part of this podcast. Everyone's equally insane in different ways.
Right.
Yes.
What's the
Ooh.
common
Whoa.
called Wizards of the Demon Sword? It might be a trauma film.
I think I saw that band.
Yeah.
Is that
They're-
Jeffrey
they're pretty
Combs?
good.
It must be.
He's not listed.
Ah,
Blake Bonner, Heidi Payne, Dan Speaker, Jay Richardson, Don Wildsmith. I don't know.
and,
Oh, and of course, Michael Berryman.
oh,
because,
okay. That's cool.
I mean,
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
yeah, you can't go wrong with Michael Berryman.
Hell yeah.
This one's brand new to LaserDisc database. No one else has one yet. I'm sure they'll pop up, but it's Guardian Angel, Cynthia Rothrock.
Nice.
And it also says AKA Beyond Justice, in case you didn't know the working title of the movie.
Nice.
But she's a bodyguard with her own kind of justice to the death.
That doesn't
death.
make any sense.
Yeah, look at the death.
Yeah.
Yep. She's fighting and shooting guns.
Is that the helicopter from Technophere?
Yeah, he's gotten
He's back.
he's reprised his roles. The helicopter.
You're helicopter complete.
Yep. Can't go wrong. And then doing a little bit of detective work. We've all seen the Army of Darkness bootleg.
Yes.
It's pretty common. Not common, but common. People really want it because it's got like it doesn't have like a different color timing or something, Sam.
Well, it's got the director's cut, but it actually looks pretty decent too.
Yep. Well, I got this one in the mail, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I got a double. I'll just, trade it to someone or something." And then I turn it around, and oh my god, it's a different pressing. So, discovered a new pressing of Army of Darkness, and it's the same cut as the other one, but it's got a cool different label and different cover art, and it's a PDO UK pressing. So,
Ooh, hopefully not rotted.
it is rot free.
Nice.
And has Taiwanese subtitles. So I'm not sure, or I don't remember if the other one was Chinese or Taiwanese, but it looks really nice. And so I've added another variant that Sam's going to have to find.
Damn it.
Well, I was like, man, what can I get that Sam doesn't have? And that was it. All right, who's next?
I don't know.
No, you tell me who's next on your screen. Me?
Everybody moved around, so
Yeah,
Yeah, let's go with
Hayden's
Vinnie.
next. Vinnie?
Okay.
Okay.
I unfortunately, as you know, have a Whatnot addiction. So Whatnot is an app where people auction off stuff, and there aren't too many LaserDisc sellers. So whenever they do have shows, there's the same like 10 or 12 of us in there. So I'm the one who buys all the stuff no one really wants.
All right,
Old
fess
man
up.
stuff.
Are you double tasking? Are you watching a Whatnot show right
I
now?
1,000% bought a disc while we were talking. There was a new guy who had never done a show. His stuff was overpriced. A lot of guys will be like thrift shop owners who just like, one guy today was like, while he's working, he's just holding up this, which is cool. But I could tell everything was way overpriced, but he had a polyester in there. And I asked him if it had the scent
Yeah.
card, and he had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. But it did, so I bought that for $20.
Cool.
So that'll come. Not that I'm going Criterion Complete ever, but I keep buying it.
You're edging closer.
Anyway, yeah. So let's start with this, which I thought was really cool. This is an 8-inch disc called LA Journal. It's from Voyager, and it's basically 16,000 photos of LA.
Cool.
Set to music, I guess. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I had to get it. I don't really have, I think I had like one 8-inch disc just to have it, and it's Spinal Tap. But yeah, there's a whole table of images.
Is it a double-sided one or single?
You know, that's a good question. I
want
don't
to
know.
see single,
There's
but
spoken word. Oh, there's spoken word performances on Analog Track 1.
Wow.
Nice.
Really cool. Yeah. So I thought that was neat. I didn't know it was an 8-inch disc, really. I don't think until I got it. So there you go. So lots of just weird old man stuff that I saw in some of these streams. This is an Eddie Cantor disc, the Pioneer Special. It's a really cool cover.
Man, that looks like
I've never seen an Eddie Cantor movie. I'm not that old, but it's a cool cover. This I saw for like, and when I get this stuff and whatnot, I'm talking about it's like $2 or $3 opening bids on these things, and no one really bids on them. other than me. So this was pretty cool. A Rowan movie, a Hammer movie I had never seen.
Yeah.
With Ryan's grandfather, Peter Cushing.
Later
It's called
release?
Shatter. Has anyone seen this?
No.
Luke, you have all the Rowans, right? Aren't you Rowan?
Yeah, that's
complete?
true. I do have that. Yes.
Yeah, is it
Have
good?
I watched it? No.
No.
Do I have it?
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, another Rowan. Just because when I see them, I know they're Naked City. I know Criterion did
Sweet.
on DVD. It's got a Laser Blazer $50 price sticker on it. This was an encore edition.
Oh, I got that.
List of Adrian Messenger and Mirage. I've not seen either of these films, but look cool. They're both widescreen. Another one I'd always been meaning to watch, but I've not seen. Night Falls in Manhattan. And these were all super cheap.
I can confirm that no one is bidding against him.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, Ryan's in there once in a
We'll
while.
jump on the same streams and very rarely we'll be like, okay, there's a later letterbox.
Right.
Speaking of which, that's a late MGM, so 97, 98 probably.
And I've not seen this film, so I'm excited. This is a movie I have seen, which I really liked. Beloved. So this is AC3, fairly late.
Yeah,
release.
it's late.
Yeah. I like this movie. I
99.
thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd read the book too. That was good. Big Night, MGM Noir, Jack Palance.
Sweet.
This I've not seen, but it was another one of these late release MGM things, separate tables with Burt Lancaster. Cool cover.
Yeah.
This was in a widescreen Day of the Dolphin.
Is that the AC3 reissue?
Yeah.
Nice. Score.
Yeah. With, written by Buck Henry, directed by Mike Nichols.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
I've always heard about this film, but it seems bonkers that it actually exists. Has anyone seen this?
Ages ago, but not on Laser.
Yeah. They programmed these dolphins to assassinate the president. It sounds crazy. And the fact that Mike Nichols directed it, it's just nuts. Yeah.
I did not know that was the film.
Yeah. That's what it's about.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Dolphin
That's
assassins.
intriguing.
Right.
Wow.
Luke had a bunch of late-ish release criterions that are hard to find that I figured I might as well have. Oh wait, but no, actually, this I got from him too.
Oh yeah,
Phenomenon.
Sweet.
I didn't have.
Phenomena.
Right. So he gave me.
Oh, sweet.
This one, which I don't have, director approved. One of the best covers.
Blaxploitation.
Sweet.
Bad Sleep Well, which is a great one of the great Kurosawa noirs. I watched this recently. It's really good. Essentially Macbeth, but set in sort of corporate world. It's really cool. Emperor Jones, which I've not seen, but is also on the harder side to find. This was something I bought from Jared Kaufman months ago, but we both forgot about, but he finally shipped it to me, Lolita.
Creepy old man.
I haven't.
It was so hard to find. That was such a hard one for me to get.
Yeah. This is not the one, but I figured I should have it anyway.
Such a great movie. Oh God, I love it.
I feel like I've memorized that damn cover, but every time I see it, I jump and then I realize, oh, no,
it's
just
different.
the other one. Yeah, I'm not as lucky as Luke.
And there's like no commentary
wherever
at all?
they are.
Did they replace the commentary or?
No, they replaced it, right?
They did, yeah.
Yes, they replaced it.
Yeah.
I mean, the super rare
they
one,
cut out.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's the difference. They're lower in the cover, right? Yeah. The title's on the top of the other one. Yeah, that's it on LaserDiscs.
Nice. All right, well, just to kind of frame this whole situation, when we were first doing the podcast, anytime Vinnie would show up, he'd be like, well, I got 5. I got 6. But since whatnot, you're a LaserDisc power player.
Well, because like I could pick up 10 movies in a show for $2 each.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to let them just, Yeah, I mean, the stuff that sells is what you'd expect. Horror, any music stuff still sells well on there. But, nobody really wants this stuff other than me and Spencer. And Spencer's not on there, so I get them.
Just pointing out that you're an active collector again, so.
Yes, well, and I definitely, I've also, I recently got a lot where I flipped all of them. Like there was nothing I wanted, but, whatever. It's I don't want to leave it there in a storage container where I know when I know the movie's good. So it goes to you guys or whoever. So
sweet.
Yeah.
All right, who's up next? You want to go, Max?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, everybody moved around, so I don't even know who's next anymore. So
okay,
I'm just gonna wing it.
Well, I too received a strange disc in the mail. What it is, I don't know.
Everybody needs a copy.
Everyone needs a copy. That's what I heard.
Like the 9 Inch Nails disc.
It is.
Let's see.
Okay, I got a bunch of good stuff recently, and I'm kind of also getting into more of these like early horror movies. So let me just grab my stack.
Sounds cool. Just checking out all your swag in the back of the room.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay. So
Nice.
in the I got, the person was like hugely into like older horror and sci-fi and a lot of like Spencer stuff
Luke gave me
was
that
their
one.
taste. And then Criterions, they had Criterions and Ronin and things like that. They had like a couple of weird ones, like this
sweet.
seemed out of their taste.
I've seen that before. That's cool. It's a documentary?
No, I've never seen this one.
I didn't even know that was on LD. I need that.
That's
Me
amazing.
neither.
That's a cool cover, yeah.
Everybody
Yes,
to
it's
eBay.
HBO.
Yeah. Quick, go.
Oh.
It's
It's
got a
amazing.
little
We
bit
still
of
see
a-
something we've never seen before.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of a wave there from the shrink.
Yeah, I
That's
hate
one of
those
the
shrink
first times I've
wiggles.
seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, cut
But-
that shrink off.
I got some of those.
Yeah.
I'm
wow.
going to. I actually recently watched this
Nice.
on YouTube movies, and so I was stoked to actually have this. Kind of a great weird movie, like disaster movie.
That's a good addition too.
Yeah, I like that one. We got Jacko.
Oh.
I'll save this for Halloween.
Yes.
This has been on my list for a little while. It's got a little damage, but not too bad.
Yeah, the front cover looks tasty.
Yeah, ooh, I know. I'm stoked on it. Okay, save those. Oh,
That's a nice one.
Nice,
The Symphonic Fantasia.
The Wizard Mouse.
is it Wizard Mouse?
It's like
I
Wizard
think
Mouse, but with a
Fantasia.
giant lizard.
Oh,
Okay.
Lizard Mouse?
Lizard Mouse. Do you have that, Hayden?
I have the 90s version.
Yeah.
That has a different cover. It's got that and then a second half. I think that one is just footage from the classic movies.
Oh,
So that's kind of like the first edition and the second edition has the same thing plus footage of the 90s movies.
cool.
So technically I don't have that disc, but I have that thing.
I'll have to see. I may have that other one then.
Ooh. Nice. Nice widescreen.
Oh yeah, a little nice.
Late Warner.
He's this is 1998.
Yeah. Sweet.
I was looking for that one, and then I was looking for
Nice.
another later one. This is also 98.
Good score.
Grandpa Peter.
Yeah.
Grandpa Peter. Well, yeah. Gotta get some werewolf action.
Yeah, I'm going curse complete over here.
Yeah, look at you.
And then I just stupidly have never had the widescreen edition of this. And like the first time I've found it. So
Yeah, that's right.
I was
That's
just
the first
watching.
movie I ever saw in a theater by myself.
I just saw Modern Family. They were dressing up as Melanie Griffith for Halloween.
Oh yeah, it's really great. It's a great movie.
and then
Oh yeah, the Herzog.
this was another later one. I think this is also 98.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same as the DVD that came out.
And then
Oh damn, Late Haunted
Oh.
Hill
yeah.
score.
I know all these. I just like the cover design on all these.
Yeah, those Late Warners are sick. They didn't mess around with the covers.
No, not at all. I'll pull this one out. This one's nice.
Oh, cool.
Cool, nice cover.
Yeah, same thing. Same. Just good vibe. And then I'll save some of those there. I got this bizarre one here.
Oh man,
yeah.
we
I
were
was just talking about
just
this,
talking
and
about
then-
that, right? Yeah.
Here it is.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like freaking really just bizarre. This is a total fever dream that I remember watching on cable as a kid. And like, I'm really stoked to revisit this.
Nice. Yeah.
Just weird baby doll, like super bizarro. And then, oh yeah, okay, I'll show. This is I don't think I showed this.
No. Sweet.
Stone Troopers.
Zone
What
Troopers,
is that?
yeah.
Zone Troopers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's your favorite film, Vinny. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It just looks gonna like be super wild, and I'm jazzed on it.
Charles Band.
Yeah, Charles Band, high quality.
Yeah. Good old Zone Troopers.
All right, I'll save some for next time.
All right. It's a good score, though.
Cool.
All right, who's up next? Hayden. Let's do Hayden.
All right. Most of what I have is courtesy of Luke, so thanks, Luke.
No, thank you.
Oh, okay, you're welcome.
Did you get any airplane
never-
discs?
You're on
no.
auto renew. Your subscription's on auto renew. You don't realize.
Yeah, I gotta get more Luke crates. So I got Stranger Than Paradise.
Score.
Okay.
I've never seen, so
Please
it'll be
watch it.
fun.
You are a
Yeah,
young
please watch
man. You need to
You
watch
will-
that
yeah,
movie.
young
I think
people-
you will enjoy it.
Jim Jarmusch is for the young. You will like it.
No, Jim Jarmusch for everybody.
I've
I think you
definitely
would enjoy
heard-
it. That's why I
I've
sent it.
definitely heard the title before, but I know
Yeah.
nothing about the movie.
Cool.
And then hooked me up with an MCA video
Oh,
drone.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I ever don't feel like
Awesome.
watching the Criterion Blu-ray, I can enjoy
Right.
this.
It's a movie that
this-
deserves to be seen on multiple formats.
Absolutely. And Frida something.
Ah,
I think this is a biopic about a
Okay.
artist.
Frida
Frida
Kahlo.
Kahlo.
I'm sorry, you don't know who that
jealous of
is?
that one.
She
Super
She is an
jealous of
artist.
that.
Do you really not know who that is?
No.
Aren't
Oh my
you
God.
an artist?
Amazing art.
Oh.
Amazing.
Wow.
Oh man. Okay.
There's
Is
a
this in
gotta
English?
go.
there's
Is
a
this in English
Doesn't
or-
matter. It doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter.
It's gonna be awesome.
Okay, correct.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Maybe you know her as Salma Hayek.
yeah, Salma Hayek
right.
famously portrayed her in a film
Yeah.
Okay.
called Frida.
There were
And
boobs.
then
There were boobies. Is that what Ryan said?
I was waiting
Frida?
for Ryan
Yeah.
to say that.
One eyebrow, two boobs.
Wow.
And an amazing artist. Let's not forget that. She just amazing. Yeah.
maybe I'll see some of it and I'll recognize it. Just
Yeah.
Well,
No,
maybe we'll continue to
realize
discuss.
I haven't registered what I've been looking
Right.
at. I got this. This is the Daimajin trilogy, which I've been
Ooh,
meaning to
sick.
watch forever.
Oh.
I watched the first one. I really liked it, so I need to get to the other two eventually. Like a god monster in feudal Japan. Cool stuff. And the widescreen edition of Thief,
Oh yeah.
so I can
Nice.
finally upgrade from
Awesome.
my crappy image video copy.
Whoa.
Which that one during the last 5 seconds of like side 2, it did the thing where the disc it's almost like laser lock, but you can't get past it.
Oh no.
And it was
yeah.
right when the villain of the movie is like hovering over the main guy and just like giving him his speech.
Yeah, like
after
this is
he's
super intense. Like you don't want to
Yeah.
disturb that part.
yeah, and then all of a sudden the movie just stopped.
Ugh.
So then I got Laser Blast, which I've wanted to
Oh,
watch since forever.
Hell yeah.
So I know about it, but haven't actually seen it.
That's a great cover.
yeah.
Does that
it's-
happen in the movie? I've seen that cover so often. Does the guy have like a thing? Does he have that?
Yeah. That,
Yeah, I think that's
Like that
what
happens?
he
Yeah,
did.
the story is
I
Sam
think-
made one when the movie came out.
Yeah, I made my own
Oh my
with
God.
cardboard tubes and stuff,
Oh,
and I was so
Nice.
into it.
I love
Yeah, I mean, isn't the plot of the movie he just finds that gun and then just wreaks havoc with it?
And he's got like a
okay.
medallion that ends up like, he's basically
Yeah.
becomes possessed by this alien, and then these
Okay.
other
No,
aliens
you
are
never know
after
with
him.
those covers what's real or not. Cool.
So then I got crappy pan and scan, but dubbed into Japanese, Planet of the Apes.
Dude.
Whoa.
So it
Is
is
it a magnetic
partially
cover.
video?
That's a good one.
do what? Yeah, it's magnetic video.
Yeah,
So-
MVC.
And one track is dubbed into Japanese, one track in English. So
Cool.
I took a glance at it. It looks pretty bad. So I'm sure I'll watch it at least once eventually. Did spin this the other day. Really loved it. Talking Heads
Oh.
Stop Making Sense.
Sweet.
Concert
Yes.
film. So
Yes.
the CD is on its way, so I can eventually
Nice.
get that and listen to it everywhere.
Cool.
Highly
Mhm.
recommended.
And then these last two, Luke did not hook me up with. This is one I've actually wanted to get since I started collecting LD, which is Pink Floyd Live at Pompeii.
Sweet.
Wow.
So spun this
cool.
the other day. It looked really good. I wasn't expecting older disc to look as good as this one does,
Yeah.
but it looked and sounded really nice. And
That's
then this
such a
one,
crazy recording too, because like literally they're just there by themselves in the middle of
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, there's like they're in a coliseum and there's just nobody watching.
And there's like different lengths. If I don't know, depending on which LD you get, some are longer than others, I guess. So I don't know which
Yeah,
one
I
that is.
think from what I understand, I
There's
think
a
this is
cat.
the longer
Max
version.
has a cat. We're not going to talk about the cat.
Well, I can't see her. I moved all the other panelists off
There's
screen,
a cat.
so now Luke's just insane.
That's
This is
normal.
now the Laser Cat podcast.
Yeah.
So, and then this one, I think a few of y'all also got this one, but mine looks a little different for some reason. This is the Holy Virgin versus the Evil Dead with my
Whoa.
custom cover.
With cover.
Damn, son, hook me up with a
It's
fake
custom
gold
cover.
Maya.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is with like cut out gold vinyl to make
Dude.
it look like the
What?
gold collection.
Holy fuck, man.
Discs.
I need in on this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we all need a group buy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I have the soul in me to make more of these, but I can definitely try. This was a pain to
Wow.
put together.
Man,
Yeah.
And the top, since this movie, I felt like it was fitting since it was released by Maya.
yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yep. But it's obviously not part of the gold collection. It didn't get that release. So this actually at the top does not say Maya Gold Collection. I looked up the Chinese equivalent of the phrase bro and made it say bro criteria collection.
That's awesome.
So I did test it just the other day to kind of see what the quality was like. Looked decent. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet though. So I'll be getting to that soon.
Man.
And that's all I have for LaserDisc. So
Man. All right. Who
That's
wants to
all
follow
Luke
that
can
up? Marcus?
Anyone else make their own
Either me
cover?
or Luke. I'll go. I can
Yeah.
go.
You can go. It's fine. I'll go last. I don't have much.
Okay. All right, let's see. I'm gonna start with a couple box sets.
Sweet.
Talking about anime already. So Astro Boy,
Whoa.
Nice.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Wow.
That's
ginormous.
the new one, right?
Yeah, it's the new one. This is they're all in color. I think it's from the 80 or 81 early 80s season. I think there's 52 episodes
Whew.
in here, and it's sealed, so I haven't even opened it yet. So
That's a beast.
Luke, you ever
Checking that
carry
out.
one of those on your back?
yeah, no carry on the back for me. I had to pay out the nose for shipping. Another anime box set,
Ooh.
Princess 9. So if you've
Wow.
been paying attention to my posts, I've been doing sports anime
Right.
recently.
Cool.
So I've been looking for cool sports anime to pick up, and this was one that. And I'm not an anime geek. Like I don't know this stuff very well. So when I come across something, I watch a couple episodes on YouTube, read a synopsis, and I'm like, yeah, I can get into this. So this is one. I brought they're all women, and they're baseball. It's a baseball anime.
Love that box though.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see. In solidarity with Hayden, also
Whoa.
got Laser Blast
Yeah.
recently.
How random.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that was a recent pickup.
That's great.
Other anime that I do like and I'm into motorsports.
Ooh.
So again, this is not one Legend of Bari Bari that I've ever known of or anything, but it popped up. I looked at some of the footage on YouTube. Animation looks really, really neat on this one compared to some other motorcycle anime. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out.
Sweet. In the chat, PK King Crimson Requiem said anime LD box sets should be classified as weapons. So
Basically.
Absolutely.
there you go.
All right. I wish Haller was here for this one because this one, I have a couple
He'd
for
be
him tonight,
screaming.
but
Whoa.
this is for
Oh.
him.
Is this
Oh my
43?
All right.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. And so I wanted to give him crap and say, I don't know why it was so hard for him to find this because
You
it
just
only
got
took
one.
me a couple months of an eBay save search and looking
Wow.
at every single
Oof.
Lady in a Tramp Laserdisc that popped up on eBay
Whew.
before I got this. Right.
Hype sticker and
seems
everything.
Crazy.
Popped
So
up
yeah,
a lot lately.
it's,
yeah.
I think it's sealed. Yeah, this is sealed.
Man,
Yeah. So Haller, if you're watching, this wasn't that hard, bro.
no biggie.
No
he's
biggie.
feeling a pain in his chest from Seattle right
Yeah.
now. He senses something.
That's great.
All right, let's see. Surfing movie, North Shore,
Yeah.
Japan only release. So I'm
for sure.
big in the surfing type movies.
Whew,
Got
yeah.
lots of them on LD. So looking forward to checking that one out.
That one's dope. That's a straight up movie. That one's great.
Yeah, that's the one with Pseudo Echo on the soundtrack, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they had the Funky Town remake.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
All right, another Japan only release.
Ooh,
Street Hawk.
Sick.
I think this is I can't remember if this is a movie or if this is like there's like 4 episodes of a pilot show that they were gonna run. I think that's what it is. I think it's the latter.
Yep.
Yeah. So again, motorcycle based, motorsports based. That's cool.
Awesome cover.
Yeah. Vinnie tipped me off on this one. U.S. pressing of Electric Dreams. So I have a Japan pressing, and it's like defective in some way. Like you can physically see it, and it won't play on my player. So, well, I'll have to get a replacement at some point. But the U.S. one will hold me over for now.
Cool.
Let's see. I was not aware of this on LaserDisc until I came across the listing.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I have that.
Yeah.
You have this? Yeah,
like
Terror
Yeah.
on Tape.
Cool.
And it's
Great cover.
it's a compilation of just scary scenes from several movies, like 20 different movies.
Yep.
I thought it was kind of cool that it's got a VHS
Yeah.
Mhm.
tape on the
On disc.
on the cover of the
On
on,
disc.
on the LaserDisc.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
It reps-
it's
it
almost
reps
like an
Deadly Spawn.
advertisement for like
Mm.
the company's releases,
Mm.
but it's
Mm.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah. All right, here's another that I've been
Oh.
after.
Nice.
Frankenhooker, and it's got the insert which doubles as a poster, right? So it
Yep.
folds out. So I was looking for the US one, but that one never came up in a price I was willing to pay. So I got the Japan one.
Great
The
graphics.
poster with the Japanese one is like so cool. So it's way better.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a,
The art was
there's
awesome.
There's a seller on Whatnot who did a Halloween show. She sells VHS and she was dressed as Frankenhooker. It's pretty cool.
Respect.
Oh, all right. This one, Class
Woo!
of Nukem High.
Whoa.
Yes, one of my favorite.
I've actually never seen this. Again, watched the trailer. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like this one. Lots going on this cover and in this film. So
Oh, it's
definitely,
incredible.
definitely looking forward to it.
Oof.
It's really
All right,
good.
then I found a lot that had Halloween 1 through 4, Japan. So I already had 1.
Yep.
So I'm going to show off 2, which is Letterbox. US didn't get Letterbox, I don't believe. And then
It's
Halloween
not a great
3 is.
letterbox.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad
I
transfer.
heard that.
But, yeah, but
I think was it Luke? I think Luke told me it was a terrible transfer,
Yeah,
but I got it
you
anyway.
got it. Yeah.
And Halloween 3, which I
Nice.
already had the US pressing, but hard to find the Japan one. So I guess I just need 6, and then I'll have them all.
Sweet.
Nice.
Let's see, Streets of Fire Japan.
Yeah.
This is the Letterbox one.
Score.
I've been looking at getting into the US one, but this one popped up in this Letterbox, so I picked it up.
Yeah, US one's kind of hard to find lately, or it's expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Let's see, another Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Transers.
that's great because the US one's a rotter, so that's
Rotter,
Hmm.
right.
better.
I
Yeah.
have not tested this one yet, but I'm praying that it's plays fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's great.
Let's see. This is a US or a Japan one that I already had the US version of, but it was the right price, so I picked it up. Monster Squad,
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
and it's Letterbox, I think, kind of. We'll see what the real aspect ratio is of this one.
Sort of boxed.
Yeah, sort of box. And let's see. I think the last few times I've been on, I have shown squeeze titles.
Mhm.
And so T2 is the top tier for me for squeeze titles. The other one I really have wanted is Fugitive. And so I finally picked up
Sweet.
Fugitive. And coincidentally, I also got the other 3 US ones within the last few weeks as well. So
Whoa.
I'm now US squeeze complete.
Sweet.
Cool.
But super excited about Fugitive.
Yeah, that and Unforgiven are pretty solid.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to skip this one because that's definitely for Howler. I'm going to save that for next time. And then the last one is one that we were talking about.
Oh,
In
the
the chat.
HK.
Oh, you got that. Nice.
Oof,
I did. I
Nice.
did.
nice.
You were the one. You were the one that got it.
I
What is
was
special
the
about that
one.
version?
It was
So
you got
it's
a
just
steal,
really
man.
rare.
I
Oh,
was
okay.
sleeping on that.
An English track. So
It's got English and Cantonese.
Anyway,
Yeah.
good score. Yeah.
Yeah.
Phew. Yeah.
So now I've got all of the NTSC Akira, like every single disc, like all the, even the variant that you pointed out on LDDB.
You got that one. Okay,
with
cool.
with the
Different
LaserDisc
Pioneer
versus
thing.
the Pioneer. Yeah, on the Obi.
Mm.
So I've got them all. So I'll post a picture up on LDF soon of the entire collection.
Yeah. Show us the fleet.
Well, then
Yeah,
that makes
and
me
then-
feel better that you got it.
Yeah, and then one more is actually a
That
second
motherfucker holds
copy.
up 2 of them.
What?
So I've got
What?
I've got 2 of them.
Whoa.
Oh, you bastard.
Now Luke,
Yes,
Luke was
sir.
on your side, and now he's not.
You know what? Go fuck yourself.
That went sideways fast.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Man.
they both kind of came up at the same time, and they were the right price and made it happen.
Mhm.
So one came from the U.S. and one came from somewhere else in Europe, I think. Yeah.
Wow. So you're like
So that-
NTSC plus now.
Yes. Yes. All right. That's it for me for this month.
All right, Luke. How many copies of Akira do you have? What do you got?
I have 2.
All
That's it. I don't even like that movie that much. It doesn't matter. All right.
Vinny likes it though.
So
Love
that,
those first 30 minutes, I love it. I keep watching them over and over.
that's the only part that makes sense. That's funny you talk about Frankenhooker, because I have one that has no Obi, and I have the insert. I didn't realize that it, or maybe I forgot that it made the poster. So that's
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
So I have been easing up on LaserDisc buy-in. We're moving soon, and so I just want to. And I'm just slowing that. I'm slowing down. That's what I'm saying. But I still got a few. All right. The first one that I'm sure no one has ever heard about is this LA Journal
Ah,
Voyager.
There's only 2 made.
Wow.
Only 2 were pressed.
So I forget sometimes that I'm going for Voyager complete because I kind of just gave up on it because they're not that interesting. But Vinnie did not, and he said, "Oh, I found this. It's an 8-inch," and then it just kind of showed up, and that's cool. The coolest part about this disc is that, you know, when you have a bunch of pictures and you kind of play through them all, they play fast. On this disc, it plays music over
Yeah.
that pushing through all the pictures. I've never seen that before. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, there you go. Thanks, Vinnie, for that. This one was super easy to find, not a big deal. Got my Electric Dreams US.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was actually a funny story. The record store I go to down the street, some days, one day they said, "Oh, we got a bunch of LaserDiscs, but we want to keep them because we want to start doing LaserDisc nights at the store." I'm like, "Well, let me look through them." And they said, "Oh, they're in the bathroom." I'm like, "Okay, I'll go into the bathroom to look at them." And this one, all the other ones were boring, and they had this one. I'm like, "Oh, I want this one." And he said, "Oh, I don't know. The manager, he wanted." It's like, and I left it there, and I came back. I'm like, "Just fucking give it to me, ring it up." No one has said anything about it. Next one. Growing up, I watched a lot of Laurel and Hardy. Like that's my dad loved it. We watched it all the time. And so I was just thinking about that the other day, and I looked it up, and one of my favorite shorts was the Music Box. I don't know if it's where they push this music box up these stairs in LA, and it keeps falling back down. It's hilarious. And I got this. I think I'm almost complete on these 3M Laurel and Hardy discs. The funny thing is the staircase is still there in LA, and next time we go up there, I want to check it out.
Cool.
All right, this one I found. All right, again, so I'm a big. So I got all the Friday the 13th. Cool. Halloween movies, like 1 through 3, I like, and I always keep telling myself, no, I'm not going. I'm not getting the rest. But then this stupid guy shows up for pretty. And I'm like, God damn it. Okay, fine. I'll get it. It's like under $50 and okay, cool. So I picked this up and I was like, okay, I still need 3 and 4. Yeah, 3 and wait.
4 and 5?
4 and 5. 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
And then of course I go and then Ryan has one. He's going to send it to me. And I go to book off and I say, have you sent that yet? He said, no, not yet. I said, just don't, because I found this for like stupid cheap. nice 4. Okay, so I
That's
still
the
need
Merlin
3.
and Nancy.
Yeah,
Wagner
tell us
quote.
about Merlin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you got your Merlin and Nancy
Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
Wagner. This Hall of
Nomination
Fame.
for the Hall of Fame.
At this
Sorry.
book off, there's just tons and tons of these discs with these stickers that say, property of Merlin and Nancy Wagner. Sorry, this disc not for loan. Like, I don't know. Why would you put something like that on? You're at their house, you're flipping through, and can I borrow this one? No.
Yeah.
Let's send it on a sticker, not for loan.
I hope they have had 3 that they would loan. I'd be like, congratulations, this is available for loan.
Maybe they stopped loaning them because their bastard kids never returned them.
Maybe.
Sorry, not for loan.
So anyway,
That's great.
you're not a true collector unless you have a Merlin and Nancy. You stole a disc from Merlin and Nancy.
Add that to LDDB as a variant.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. So, all right, Criterion. I don't know what to fucking say about it, but I've got every number. I've got every alpha. I've got every one. But the more I look them up in LDDB, there's different pressings.
Yes.
Okay. Like just little things that are different. And this one, I've been looking for a while. I asked, this 2001. All right. In LDDB, it says it has a white 60 spine number, all this shit, and has a picture on the back. And I've been looking for that, what it says in LDDB forever. And then finally, on the chat, we were talking about it. And it's like, wait a minute, that's wrong. Like, that's not it. It's because Sam said, oh, I've got this other one. And it's like a box. It comes up, it actually comes off. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is just wrong. And then it's been sitting there on eBay, forever, just looking at me in the face. And so, yeah, this is this is the Pioneer pressing of 2001.
From what, 1990, I think? It says on the disc, but not on the back. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. But it still says first pressing, which is funny. Yeah.
Because it's not.
Yeah. So the more I look, the more I find. Right now, I'm looking for Arsenic and Old Lace. There's a second pressing of that. I supposedly have a different catalog number. And then I looked at Tootsie, the dual disc of Tootsie. Like there's one that has the second disc was like a DADC or something, or 3M or something weird. I was like, the more I look, the more I just fucking hate it. It's just like,
I'll check my Tootsie. You can have my Tootsie if it's one you need.
Yeah. Well, I've been obsessed for Luke. I'm convinced he has more than anyone else.
Yeah, this is all about Vinnie.
But he has more than anyone else. I'm convinced he has everything. More than most people who think they are complete have. You know what I mean? Like I haven't talked to Altman in a while, or even Daisuke, but I'm pretty sure Daisuke does not have the variants Luke has. And it's just funny that all these things pop up when you think you're done, and like, there's one without a barcode. Like this crazy shit.
Yeah, there is one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember last time I talked to Altman about it. He said, "What? There's 2 shines? What? What's going on?"
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, he needs to pick up his
2 of something.
Yeah.
But I don't want to look. Like I'm not going to look at. I just want to just.
Sure, you're not getting. Yeah, you're not getting
like. Oh yeah, great. I got it all.
You won't get a Kennedy Center honor once you get them all.
No,
I mean,
because
no one will care.
Yeah. No one will care.
Right.
Anyway, that's it for late. I've got a bunch more records and other stuff, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You guys want to do some hot topics? Do we have time? What do you think, Ryan?
We got hot topics, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
We do?
What's
hot?
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of wild stuff going on lately in here. What else? We had LaserDiscs were all $100 back in the day. Vinnie, you're a good person to be here because you were collecting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Every time someone
finds this idea that everything was expensive.
Yeah, every time someone finds a receipt, it always has a CAV criterion on there, and then somebody will invariably kind of jump in and be like, "Oh, well, yeah, everything was $70 to $100 back in the day." So yeah, you were involved in the LaserDisc industry in some fashion. Yeah. Yeah. What kind of stuff?
They were expensive. Criterions were always expensive.
Sure.
CLV was probably $49.98, and then there's the $125. I mean, the most I ever paid for anything was the killer CAV, and I got it at my employee discount, which was like 30 or 40% off. It was still like $80, which was insane for me at the time. But because usually I would just buy the used stuff, we'd resell the rentals, and I would just get first crack at them, and that's what I'd take. I rarely bought anything new, but that I bought because one of our buyer was going somewhere, and John Woo was going to be there and was going to sign it. So I'm like, all right, I got to buy a new one, and he signed it for me. But that was the only time I ever paid that much for a disc. But
I
yeah,
think
for the
he
most
signed
part,
every copy.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of John Woo 6.
I think
Yeah.
John was
Oh my
signed every
God.
copy.
Yeah. But I never even bothered getting like the CLV killer, or so I'll have to get that one day.
I think it's Marauder, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I feel like that.
But yeah, I mean, $29.98 was basic, your average price, right? And we'd have people, you know, who had home theaters, and no matter, they would just come in and they'd want action movies, like what sounds good, and they'd buy whatever came out that Tuesday. But we sold players, and if you bought a player from our store, you got, for a year, you got to rent one movie a day for 25 cents. I thought it was like the greatest deal in town. You spend $300 on like a Pioneer 503 or whatever, and then every day you just come in and rent the movie. So you could, you know, enjoy the movies and enjoy the letterbox stuff and the sound without spending a ton of money. And that's what a lot of people did. We did rent a lot of movies, but yeah, there were certain people who bought a lot, but you know, the people who bought every Criterion, that was few and far between. But yeah, it could be expensive if you were buying CAVs all the time.
Yeah, I picked my battles, like Brazil.
Yeah, or the Disney boxes people would definitely buy, and CBS Fox reissues, you know, sci-fi, that kind of stuff, you know, the older collectors would get. But yeah, I guess for people on the outside looking in or looking back, it did seem like a sort of a high-end elitist hobby, but I think there was enough. If you were a true movie fan, you were into it, and you'd rent it, or that was just how you watched movies.
And there were discount bins at some stores, so
yeah, for sure. We sold up all our rentals, and that was a great way to get.
Yeah, that's what I would get
movies. That's what I did.
In Boston, Laser Craze had a huge used section like you'd find at a record store nowadays. So I'd pick up a lot of stuff super cheap there. So and then Columbia House, obviously you could get those early 3 for $1 things. So
exactly. Everyone got Star Wars until they took it off.
Yeah.
Mixed it. Yeah. Exactly. Once they caught on.
So there were options.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So we just got to kind of reorient everyone's perceptions about it. And of course, VHS tapes were not always sell through back in the day. So they were priced for rental a lot. So even in the 90s, a lot of tapes were like $90 at first.
Oh, I remember the first person. I worked at Record World, and someone came in and special ordered Dirty Dancing for like $89. And I thought they were just out of their mind. I didn't understand it. Like, what are you doing?
I did that at Suncoast, and I wanted to pre-order The Crow. And it was, the woman at the counter misheard me and thought I wanted the VHS. And she's like, oh, that'll be $89. I'm like, spit out my coffee. I'm like, what are you talking about? No, the LaserDisc was like, $35 or something maybe at the most. So, yeah.
Well, look, people are paying, if you're buying Criterion at full price, which not that many people do, if you want Malcolm X 4K, $50, or $40. I was at Best Buy recently. They actually had a ton of Blu-rays, and they had Malcolm X and the last, newer one, Power of the Dog, and a few things, and they're like $40, $50. And I'm sure people must think that's insane.
I mean, right?
Which it is, because next to it's like a 4K for $10. And
boutiques are pretty pricey.
Park or something. Yeah.
Especially when you get deluxe packaging and all that stuff. So.
And you buy a yearly subscription.
Yeah. But you guys are paying $40, $50 for records.
Yeah.
That seems crazy to me. Yeah.
Yeah, totally normal.
Like I used to buy records when they were $8.99.
40, 50, that's cheap.
Yeah.
I used to buy it for $8.49. I bet the hospital drugs for $3.
Here we go. Here's one for Marcus. You've been going DTS crazy lately. Someone was saying, if they have AC3, like, is DTS worth getting involved in? Is it mandatory or necessary? Or
I would say you should at least try it once and on your system, test it out, and see if you can hear the difference. I have a very strong opinion that you'll be able to hear and feel the difference. But I think that's the way to be sold. I mean, the presence of DTS just adds a whole nother dimension to the film. Now, we can go back and forth about, and there are rightful arguments about whether some of these films actually deserve DTS or showcase DTS to the fullest extent. There's probably several of them that don't. I don't disagree with that. Yeah. But for films that have action or great, musical tracks, definitely take advantage of DTS for sure.
Yeah, I always recommend those easy ones. Last Man Standing, Long Kiss Goodnight. They're usually really cheap and thumping
Look,
soundtracks.
the one that did it for me was Great
Great
Expectations.
Expectations,
I got
baby.
it for $14, and then there's a scene in the
Yep.
rain, and I was like blown away. It was just
Yep.
suddenly I'm
Right.
just standing in the rain. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Got
And
mine
then
from
I
Ken
went,
Cranes.
like about a 10 or 12, and that, it's definitely better. I've tried it with Jurassic AC3 versus DTS, and
Oh yeah.
DTS is better.
But
Well, you got Jurassic AC3. I mean, not many people even have that one. So,
Yeah.
but be patient, right? Don't try and go on eBay and just buy the DTS that are listed there,
that's
because you're
that's
gonna
what I
way
do.
overpay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But set up a save search or whatever, or search regularly. You'll be able
Crimson
to find some
Tide.
deals. And
Crimson Tide's always undervalued. That's a great one. If you're going to buy one for like $40, it's great.
Keep Rising.
Treat.
Treat Williams.
But yeah, like
Mhm.
we mentioned in the chat, like a lot of times they're later pressings. Kure press them, so they're like super into TSE pressings, and so yeah, they're even nicer a lot of times than the earlier incarnations. So it's funny
Right.
because somebody in that chat on LDF was like, oh well, some things are different, some aren't. Like Apollo 13 came out in 1996, so it's like they were at the same time. It's like DTS wasn't out in 1996, so that did not come out then. So so their later pressings a lot of times nicer. Sometimes it's the same transfer, but at least a better made disc. They're worth getting. But again, you don't have to go complete. Like I know that's been pretty popular, a trend to try and go DTS complete. I know Peter was doing it, and Ryan's got to be there or near.
Ryan is there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Marcus is like right behind
Yeah.
him.
So I'm pretty close. So
Yeah.
I got to about 70 or 75, and those were like the films that I absolutely wanted, or was willing to pay for. And then a lot came up, or several got posted recently that were fairly priced. And so I just snagged up a whole bunch of them. And all of a sudden, I'm in the 80s and 90s. I'm like, well, shoot, I'm in spitting distance now. So,
Might as well go.
so let's just make it happen.
How many are
I'm
there?
sitting there writing a message. I'm like, what other DTS you got laying around?
Yeah, low.
How many?
110.
110. Right, something like. And I mean, a lot of them are just movies that we like, anyways. I mean, they're just a better or superior or chase variant.
Yeah.
But
What's the hardest one to
I
get?
think it's 112 plus ransom, 112 US, and then ransom.
Oh yeah, you got Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah. For 113.
Yep.
And
And
then there's
Target
the demo
Japanese
disc and other stuff.
Dark City is always hard to find.
Yeah.
And then Ransom is Japanese only, so it's always hard to find.
What was the one Peter couldn't find? It was Rob Roy, right?
Rob Roy. Rob Roy is surprisingly hard to find.
And Eric Clapton.
And
And
Clapton.
then there's a Tina Turner one, right? Or Eagles too?
Yep, Tina Turner.
Yep.
And Eagles Hell Freezes Over.
Yep.
Do you mess with
I just
DTS,
got that
Hayden?
Eagles one.
I have Jurassic Park on DTS.
Cool.
But for Jurassic Park, I usually either go with the CAV box set or the fan 35 millimeter scan.
Ooh. Okay.
So I actually tried selling that on the page, but nobody wanted to buy it. So
The DTS? Wow.
yeah,
Really? Wow.
yeah, that was one of the in that sales post I did a
Interesting.
little while ago. That was one that I had listed and nobody went for it. So maybe I'll try
I mean,
again.
Shocking.
That's a hot topic for me. It is hard to sell stuff lately.
Mm.
I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to sell everything I was trying to get rid of, but I thought
Yeah.
a little bit more might have sold. But
Especially in LDF.
you know.
Like the group is
Mhm.
fickle.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even eBay, even stuff I haven't sold there, I'm sitting on eBay forever. It's weird.
It's January, February. It's real spotty.
Yeah.
And then people start getting their tax returns in
Yeah,
March.
wait till tax return.
Yeah.
And it
yeah,
goes
I'll,
on.
waiting for
I'll,
Ryan
I'll
to
list
do
it
his
again for
whatnot
double
show.
price after that.
Luke's been,
I'm really close to doing my Whatnot show
Oh, great.
online.
Luke's been having
I'll
good
send
luck
you
with the
stuff to
mystery
sell on it.
boxes, right?
Oh yeah, mystery boxes sell so easily.
Nice.
I'm kind of upset if they don't sell within like 5 minutes.
Yes.
But yeah,
How's,
I don't think I'm making that. It's not a good deal for me. It's really other than it's just getting it out the door.
Yeah.
I think it's a good
Yeah.
deal for those guys that get it.
how's things in Maxene's lair sales wise?
Oh man, we got so many more. I mean, I literally just had that lot pickup.
Yeah,
and
that was
there
on my list. You got like a crazy truckload recently, right?
I did. I got 28 boxes,
Wow.
and it was, oh my gosh, that was so much work. It was literally just like unloading for like forever, and then trying to like incorporate all that back onto my shelves. So now I was just getting the floor clean, and now it's all it's all messed up again.
Are you still keeping up your website? Is it all on there or no?
It's not all on there. It's not. It realistically will never be all on there. And the amount of just like sheer labor that it takes, and like, I mean, I also personally like the one-on-one like discussions that I can do in the group, and I prefer that. Like, I like wheeling and dealing. Like that's what I'm used to. So
someone in the chat wants Gerald wants Suspiria. So if you have Suspiria, tell Gerald, or vice versa.
You should try Whatnot. I think you can get rid of a lot of stuff on Whatnot pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, I may
do
it.
I was gonna add Max is like a real live logarithm. So I'll pick a few titles, and then she'll send me 20 others that are like, she's like, well, if you like this,
exactly.
you like these too, and then I'm getting half
literally, that's how my brain works. So I like that. I like to just do that I have shelves that saved aside for things, and just like, oh, if this, kind of clicks a box for me for somebody, or I mean, I have photographic memory. I have pretty long standing memory. So some people are like, oh, I'm looking for something. And it's like, maybe like 6 months later, I'll message them, hey, you still need that? Cause like, I remembered you needed it, Man. But yeah, I like that. I like that more personal vibe.
So reach out. Should people email you or just PM
you? The private message on through find me through the group, and I'm happy to talk about discs.
Cool. All right, what else is going on? Someone in LDF wanted to know a list of Pioneer players with component outs for LaserDisc, and the answer is there's none. So
0.
Yeah. There's DVLs, which will put out a black and white image.
Yes, don't use those.
Don't use them. So there you go. Public service announcement.
Yeah, don't use that for that. Those ports don't do what you think they do.
Here we go. Oh, we had a cool LD moment. Vinnie wanted to watch Planet of the Apes with his son.
Oh, yeah.
And couldn't find it streaming and had to watch it on LaserDisc.
Wow.
Yeah. And I didn't show him the cover.
Good. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Oh, that's true.
That's a nice transfer, though.
Yeah, AC3.
Those are the nice THX.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was funny. It was. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think I mentioned it on the last one. I was showing my girlfriend the classic series. She had never seen any of them. And the menu, I have the first one on disc, but all the sequels I only have on DVD. And I realized that the menu artwork is the same as the LaserDisc artwork. So when we got to escape, I was like, hey, step out of the room. I'll hit play and then pause it. Because when you see the menu, it's going to spoil the entire movie for you.
Oh, wow.
Nice try. So, yeah. How did your son handle does he care that it's LaserDisc, or? Yeah.
He doesn't care. He'll just assume. Sometimes he assumes it is. But we watch something right after. He's like, "Oh, this looks better than the last one." Like, well, yeah, that's Right. But I think it's cool that he's watching a movie shot in the '60s, released in the '80s in 2023. I mean, it's just crazy that it's even playing, and that it's good enough for me to run that way. It's pretty cool.
Nice. All right, here we had a meltdown in LDF too. There was a call for home theaters, and our buddy John pointed out that you should not, as a grown adult, have Funko Pops or Star Wars or any kind of memorabilia or action figures in your room.
I didn't realize that was happening in there. Okay.
It turned into a thing. So where do you guys stand on cool toys in your
Like, seriously? No.
I mean, I have stuff around here, but I wouldn't put it like.
Yeah.
I don't like people who put shit like in their line of sight in their theater.
Okay, all right.
Like there was that guy in the
walkie squawky, nice.
Yeah, like mannequins with like a Batman in the like.
Oh yeah, I've seen dudes with those. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine to like have an area where you have stuff, but don't like.
That would freak me out.
I don't want to mess up the cinematic experience.
Yeah.
Plus, there's like a figure in your room. Like late at night, it's dark, and you're like walking down. You're like, is that an intruder or is that Batman?
That's great.
I used to have that Pee-wee doll. He talks and says cool. Like, ha. Hayden doesn't like any action figures or.
No, I hate them. That's why I keep them here in the office and out of the living room.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a Funko Pop enthusiast, but my wife buys them for me. occasionally,
Mm.
because you're like, oh, you're Hopper from Stranger Things. Here's a Hopper one.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. Is that
Yeah,
Simpsons?
thank God I'm not into Funko. I mean, I have one or two, but that's,
Yeah, and they're out of the box.
Yeah.
I don't have them like lined
Right,
up on the
right.
wall in a box.
yeah.
I maybe
The
have
sea
4.
captain from Simpsons. Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah. Anyways, all right. So Ryan, I know, has like kids' toys everywhere, but they're his sons.
Yeah, I mean, I have a few Legos and other things, but they're
Pepsi
not
Power Glove, nice.
they're not everywhere. Like
Nice. I need
when I
that.
see these places where people just literally have shit on shit, and like the screen's buried in like
Yeah.
avalanche of shit, it's
Right.
just too much. Like
Right.
I need some functional like clear space,
Right.
or at least space that my son can destroy with God knows what,
Yeah.
like marble runs and Hot
Mhm.
Wheels. God knows what else. So
Yeah. What else did I learn? Oh, I learned Marcus used to have some sick JDM whips. Like there was some.
Yes.
What was it?
Well,
Initial
one,
D
one
you were
whip
watching?
specifically.
Oh, it was just one whip. All right.
Yeah. No, it was. I picked up Shakatan Boogie,
Oh, that was all
the
right.
OVA, the four episode OVA on LD, and it reminded me of the car that I used to have. Had an 05 G35 sedan, and it was real lowered and
You
very
made-
much styled like those cars.
You made Sean Robert Gillette very happy, so you appreciate.
Yeah.
He said it was like the best post in LDF in years. So yeah,
He did say that.
yeah. So there you go.
I appreciate that.
There's also a call for Pioneer to build an $800 new LaserDisc player, so that's probably going to
Of
happen
course.
any
Well,
minute.
Sure,
get
they'll
to
go
that.
right on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put my pre-order in.
Okay, I've
Oh, good.
talked to the chairman of Pioneer.
How'd that go? What do you say?
He laughed about the fact that I had Laserdisc on my kimono, and he said, "Oh yes, we have laser karaoke still."
I've definitely been dropping links to the FAQ a lot more lately. There are definitely a lot of new people and asking the same questions.
Yeah, I felt bad for
Yeah.
poor Remus who asked about Muse, and then everyone was like, "Use Google, you idiot."
At first, I thought he
Yeah,
was
I
joking.
wouldn't go
Like,
that
I'm like, how can you have this player and not know what that is?
Yeah.
He was joking, right?
Well, he doesn't actually have it. I think he was just he
Oh.
tripped across it on
Okay.
eBay or something. So, and he was just like, "What's this?" I'm sure he was trying to have fun with the Muse the band versus that, but yeah. But yeah, a bunch of people tore into him.
Mhm.
So it was-
Yeah. One question I've answered over and over again. People ask about sleeves. What sleeves do you use? Which ones are
Yeah.
best?
yeah, somebody just dropped that
Which-
recently, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Dave.
feel like every week,
I'm pretty
at least
sure it's
one
in the
person posts
FAQ.
about that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Here's
I
the one, Record Unlimited one, the one Sam has. Yeah,
Just
the-
Yeah,
got
I
these
got
in the mail
those.
today.
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
One sounds
And then here's my
I've been-
inners.
yes.
I've been slacking though. I've got there's too many empty ones now.
Yeah, I need to order even more of these because this is barely
that's
going to
what I
get me
use.
caught up. Yeah, and that's what I use for my records. Is the one Marcus has.
Yeah.
Yep. So good stuff.
I've switched to invest in vinyl on the bookstore in the sky that Vinnie doesn't like, just because I can use my free gift cards to buy them,
There you go.
Fair
and
enough.
they're really solid.
Yeah, Bags Unlimited, you got to buy from them, or you can buy through resellers on marketplaces, and that's not really worth it.
No,
Yeah, cut out the middleman, go direct. But yeah, nobody's going to give you Bags Unlimited gift cards. Yeah, I think that was about it. Anybody else have any burning issues?
let's
I
talk
need to use
about
the restroom, so I'll be
converters. Like
You mean retro link?
I was gonna avoid RetroTink altogether. That did light LDF on fire for sure. So
Yeah.
the RetroTink is fine if you want to play video games. It's not made for Laserdisc or that kind of video signal. It's
yeah,
just not. Like you're trying to jam a square peg in a round hole, and it's not going to be good.
and that's the thing that's going to keep kind of coming up too. It's because someone's like, well, I love this thing for my video game console. It does standard definition, so it's like, I don't know. It's part and parcel of like, I got the CRT TV, I've got the console, I've got the RetroTink, so LaserDisc is going to work in perfectly with that, and yeah, so.
And the Chinese cheap converter boxes are cheap garbage. Just, I mean,
Yeah.
what
watch
you
it
pay
straight
for.
through to your TV. If your TV can take the signal straight, and you'll get a better picture than converting
Absolutely.
it to HDMI through those garbage boxes.
They do actually finally have some that have aspect ratio buttons on them, so you can like do a zoom. But that's there's still garbage boxes that have an aspect ratio button. But before that, like you couldn't control the aspect ratio at all. So, but yeah, so that ended up with Peter exploding because of course he did this huge that's part of the thing with LDF. Like he did a huge deep dive into the retro tank.
I pinned it to the top.
Yeah. But as Vinnie mentioned, nobody's going to see it.
Thesis.
Yeah. So I think the other thing too is a lot of people kind of don't know what to look for in terms of like what these boxes do. So it's just kind of like a general, it looks good. So I didn't even know like what to look for in terms of like a de-interlacer versus a comb filter, etc. So, so sometimes you could be like, well, I think that looks, I thought we pissed off Hayden and he just left. He's just like, I hate retro tanks. I'm leaving.
Not retro tank. He had to leave the room.
Welcome back, Hayden.
But yeah, I mean, retro tanks are great for video games because they're designed for it. They're not designed or tested or manufactured for LaserDisc.
And
I guess if it's like your only option, but it was probably not your only option though.
Right.
And that's the tough thing. A lot of people would recommend DVD recorders, but it's like you don't know actually what's in. There's so many of them. The same thing with receivers. There's a billion AVRs and things like that. So really the only way to figure out if it's good or not is to kind of test it out. Unless you know the specific models. Like I got a Panasonic DM or an E20, and there's the ES25 that are good. But I don't know. It turned into a kerfuffle. And so the retro tank fans were angered and I don't know.
But there is a secret to retro tanks. If you stack 5 of them in a chain, it will unlock LaserDisc and it will be full HD.
Sweet, bro. I'm gonna do that right now.
You got to get the 5X X5.
Yeah, 5X X5 LaserDisc superpower thing. And again, then that turns into the whole, you're people that are trying to make LaserDisc into Blu-ray, and then this whole thing, really, in terms of what I've been ever doing is just trying. I don't know if it was Sean. Somebody pointed out like, you're trying not to lose anything.
Yeah.
When you're blowing it up big, you're trying not to screw anything up or add any more interference or noise in the process of the signal chain. So it's not really trying to make it Blu-ray because it's LaserDisc. It's never going to look like
my
Blu-ray.
goal is always, is it decent enough for me to show other people without them like walking out of the room?
Yeah, your son could power through plenty.
Because otherwise
theaters.
I can watch, I'll watch it, whatever it is, I'll watch it, doesn't matter. But
I'm the same way.
would someone else sit through it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch a Vestron transfer but I'm not inviting my bros over to watch.
Right, exactly.
Oh, I have.
I mean,
well, it depends on the size of the TV.
I've never had anybody complain about having to watch a LaserDisc at like a gathering.
No.
Yeah.
It's a novelty, if anything. So
yeah,
that's always fun.
Yeah, I mean, I used to show them at work on lunch breaks, and everybody was having a blast. So I don't know, whatever.
I'll watch lots of different movies. I will not sit and watch a movie with a shitty AR because you can't figure out how to zoom.
Right.
Oh yeah, I will always fix that.
Anything else? Like, if there's artifacts or whatever, that's the limitation of probably the source material. It is what it is. But if it's pancaked and smashed and all kinds of fucked.
Yeah, I feel bad because people get hammered pretty hard, especially once their first post. Yeah, everyone pig piles on them. I know Marcus has been through that.
I have, and I try to tell people that story. I'm like, look, 8 years ago, this happened to me. Just humble yourself, listen to those who are experienced, and they will set you on the right path.
Yeah. And
some people's egos are just too big. They're like, they can't do it.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. I'll watch it this way.
I like it this way now. Yeah. So, I mean, Vinnie, you work in the movie industry. How many times a week or day do people come up and demand refunds because the image was shown correctly? Because according to everyone, they prefer it stretched out and demented. So people must ask for their money back all the time.
I'm picky. I mean, we have a masking issue in my theater, so most people don't care, but they'd care if it was stretched or squeezed.
Exactly.
For sure.
You'd hear about it.
Yeah. I'm complaining about like slight window boxing and stuff, but everyone can watch however they want to watch, but I draw the line at the aspect ratio because that's just simply math. Like it's just wrong. Yeah. If you think that's better, fine, but don't show us. Don't expect someone not to say something if you're watching something that's just incorrectly displayed.
Yeah, it's I always think
Quality, watch it however you want on whatever monitor you want, size, whatever. But
jack the color up, mess it up. Yeah,
right.
I always think of Robert
I
Rodriguez.
agree with Vinnie on that one. Aspect ratio is yes.
It's
Whatever,
the shape.
whatever screen you want. Yeah,
Right.
I totally agree.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. Anyways, so
All right.
fix your stuff.
Yeah.
You guys want to do physical media?
Sure.
Yeah. Unless Ryan wanted to talk about anything else. Do you have any other burning
No,
issues?
like the big thing is just don't be ridiculous.
Don't be ridiculous. Exactly. All right, let's do some physical media. This will be quick. I don't have too much stuff. Because, again, I haven't been buying much. So I got some records. Luke, just like a day or two ago, was like, hey, you like James Bond records. Do you need Honor Majesty's Secret Service? And I said, yes.
That's nice.
I think he mailed it,
Awesome.
and it showed up, like, instantly. So,
Yeah.
Well, I mailed that
Really cool cover.
late Wednesday. I'm talking like right before the post office closed
yeah.
on Wednesday,
So
and that showed up today. That's
today,
crazy.
Yeah. So, pretty sick. And I got some
That is
little
great. All right.
magazine cards in there, too, that he sent. So,
Oh.
that was wicked fast. And I think the only other record I got was Inhale Exhale by the fantastic Swedish band Nazum, which are no longer the lead kind of guy got killed in the tsunami years ago. So in Thailand. So yeah, he was on vacation. But this is their first full-length record.
Yeah.
Got released from Gimme Metal. So I was glad to have that big. And they're from Sweden, so Seth must be a big fan.
Wow.
I did not buy any Blu-rays or LaserDiscs or anything. I got some.
What?
Yeah, I got some bags. I guess the only other thing else I can show is I got a toy.
Oh.
Funko Pop.
Yeah,
big
What?
Funko
if you
Pop.
like anime, I got a
Oh.
great Mazinga or Mazinger Z. Shogun Warriors was this cool line. They even had a Marvel comic and everything. It was kind of like Robotech, where they just took all sorts of different Japanese entities and kind of shoehorned them in together and released a toy line. And
Where did you get that? I didn't realize it was that big. That's crazy.
dude, yeah, and it's got the original
In the box.
Bradley sticker on the box. It's got all the accessories. It's got the booklet and everything. Friend of my wife's like best friend basically is moving. Her parents are moving out of their house, and she's going through and trying to sell everything. And yeah, he's got mighty
Just
swords.
happened to have that in the
Happen to have
box.
a complete like mint in the box.
Will you open that?
Crazy.
What do you do with that?
Oh, it's open. I mean,
Oh, he has
it
sex
just,
with it.
it just
That's
lifts
what
right
he does.
off.
I figured.
Hold
Oh
on.
yeah, I'm gonna fuck the hell out of this thing.
Yeah, I sleep with this guy. But yeah, I mean, he's got like cool like roller
This is
skates.
sick.
He's got all the rockets, and they come off, and then you
Wow.
put him in his fists. Oh, this one holds the sword. The swords are actually like hiding in his like kind of thighs
Robocop
there.
leg.
Yeah, Robocop leg. And so then yeah, that comes out, and you can stick it in.
You have
his
to
hand.
make some stop motion movies with him.
Yeah,
This
and,
is. I love this.
and then you load all the missiles in his fist there, and they shoot. He's got some bonus ones up here, and then yeah, great Mazinga on his chest or his torso there, and yeah, there's his butt with a lot
Cool.
of 70s stuff. So. But yeah,
And
I
it's
mean,
made by Mattel.
well, it's like they just kind of found a Japanese toy, and
Oh, Mattel it.
yeah, and Mattel it.
Mm.
It's got the limited warranty from 1976.
Oh,
1976, and yeah, it's got the instructions in case you need to set up. Yeah, so that's some of the other ones: Dragoon and Raideen, which I'd like to get that because YMO wrote a song about him. So yeah,
Sick.
I always wanted one of these when I was a kid, but like yeah, the thing's like 1,000,000 feet tall, and it was what? How much was it? $13.99 in 1976. So yeah, nobody was buying that
Wow.
for me. So. There you go. That was it. That was my last thing. What do you get, Ryan?
That was a good closer.
Thanks.
I get a few things.
believe
Not
it.
news many. Luke sent me a VHS tape. Are we allowed to talk about those?
Holly's not here, so yeah.
All right. So this is a 2004 promo Transformers.
Cool.
So, and it's apparently completely in Japanese.
Yep.
So I'm gonna have to
Sick.
check that out. It looks really awesome. And then I went to Dollar Tree. I do that. It's a bad habit because I end up with a ton of shit. But got No Surrender with Scott Adkins.
Sweet.
Cool.
Animal Among Us. I didn't even remember what it was called. And then The Marshals.
Oh,
It's a
Shudder.
Shudder original. I bought it because it was a Shudder original. And then today I was at Dollar Tree, and again, it's a bad place to go, but I got it on Blu-ray from Dollar Tree.
Sweet.
So,
Wow.
I got a couple of Amazon. I mean, not Amazon.
Oh,
Dentist.
wow.
Ooh, Vestron.
This is a new Bestron.
Yep.
And then I also got Parents. And
Yeah.
I watched this with my wife, and it suffers from the Bestron audio.
Oh,
We turned on subtitles after about 10 minutes in because there were just sequences where they were talking and you had no clue what the hell they were saying.
man.
And it was in English. So, yeah,
Wow.
Bestron. And then I got a Vinegar Syndrome package last month. It was their 10th anniversary. So they're kind of going big this year with all kinds of crazy stuff. I got this bad boy.
Nice.
Santo versus Dr. Death. This is fantastic. So Santo is a secret agent / lucha libre wrestler,
Wow.
which is a standard combination. And there's an entire
Yes.
series of movies, and it's pretty ridiculous and fun. So if you like really corny action movies, this is right up the alley. Got Infernal Rapist.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
It's a Mexican exploitation film. It's kind of all over the place. It's cringy. I've watched most of it. I'll probably finish it tonight. But man, it's difficult at times because it's very, very dated, but interesting to say the least. Got Frostbiter,
Oh.
Wrath of the Wendigo. No idea. This was in my subscription. So I subscribed again this year because I can't help myself. But, I end up with some movies that I'm like, I have no clue what I'm getting, but that's cool. And then I end up with absolute stone cold gems like the 4K of From Beyond.
Nice.
This is going to sell out probably in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
It was like 7,000 pressing, and they're already down to 1,000. So
Wow.
really cool for them. Really not cool if you're trying to get it, but not my problem. We got the Undeclared War,
Nice.
which is like it's on their VSA series, so it's got the cool like slip covers, but it's kind of Hong Kong, kind of US action. It's in English mostly. So it's very rare on Laserdisc, but they have a nice Blu-ray reissue. And then the other VSA they came out with was Ted Bundy. This is the movie from like 2002. So I've heard mixed reviews, like this is really cringy good and also just not good at all. So looking forward to that. Yeah. And then there are a couple other things in their main line. The Hong Kong Made in Hong Kong Volume 1, which is a bunch of Cat 3 Hong Kong discs.
Yeah.
They're kind of obscure titles. The Demon's Baby, Erotic Nightmare, and The Deadly Camp. They're toward the end of the Hong Kong run, and then they came with a nice little booklet as well. So just a great way to present it, slip cover case and everything, because they went all out, and people were complaining these aren't the ones we wanted. And it's like they could have released the 3 you wanted, and the next guy would have hated it.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. There's no winning. Yeah.
And then I got the Sidekicks 4K.
Oh my
Can't
god.
believe they
This
did
has I know, right?
Yeah.
This has the amazing like magnet cover
With the ribbon.
Incredible.
with the ribbon, and then it's got the movie, which is 4K, of course,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
why wouldn't it be? And
It
then
needs
it's
to be
also
best
got like
quality, of
the
course.
fake magazine cover
Oh my
book.
God.
Wow.
Just so good, and it's got information. And it's got like a fake advertisement, so you can fight like Chuck with
Nice.
throwing knives, and they just went all out. So kudos to them for releasing a movie that didn't deserve a 4K release, but they
No.
did so nice. It's a great movie, but like the 4K, there's nothing in the pixels that you couldn't see in the Blu-ray or anything else. But it's just a great, corny, fun movie. So.
That's great. That's great.
And then I got a couple of other things. They have a new subscription thing where you can accumulate points and get slipcovers for movies that you didn't have a slipcover for. So I picked the Hearst for the first month. You can see it's got like a cool slipcover.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sick eyes, yeah.
So now I can watch the movie that I have that didn't have a slipcover because I didn't have the full resolution.
Yeah, movie's so
Yeah.
much crisper. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. I picked up Attack of the Beast Creatures.
Ooh.
Just a cool like film. This one immediately went out of print, or the slipcover sold out. So
Wow.
really excited to check that out. Apparently pretty cool. And then Undead came, and it's an Australian horror film. And this one's probably, if it hasn't, going to sell out on its run. And then, of course, got a sweet sticker because why not? And a T-shirt, but I'm not wearing it, so I'm not going to talk about it. And then I picked up like just a couple records. I
believe you.
I've been trying to be good on this. So we'll start here with Days of the New. This is
music on vinyl.
Going back to music on vinyl, 2001, I think it came out or something like that.
Wow.
This one immediately sold out everywhere across the country. My record store that I ordered it from had to like call his rep because he'd ordered and his distributor canceled on him.
Yeah.
He was able to get me like one copy, and he has no others, and no one knows if there's going to be a restock or anything crazy. It's a mess, like everything.
So when you said it came out in 2001, that you're talking about the original pressing came out in 2001.
There was never a vinyl pressing of it. It just came out on CD. So
okay, got it.
This
and
was
then
like the
music on
first
vinyl is they repressed. I'm talking to Vinnie here. They repressed newer vinyl. Got it.
Yep. And then along with that, Warrant,
yes.
This is another music on vinyl pressing. I haven't listened to this one. It's a green vinyl for this one.
Yeah, for
that
money.
cover is my childhood. I remember that cover so vividly.
The Days of the New album sounds great. Just nice, quiet, really dynamic pressing. I was really impressed with it, because you never know, because you don't know how it was recorded in 2001, if it was strict to digital or it was on tape or whatever else. Got the Weezer album. This is Spring. It's apparently Elvish folk Weezer something. I don't know.
Elvish folk Weezer. Wow.
Sure, that all tracks.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will listen to it once and probably put it next to Pinkerton and some of the other ones that I'll.
My wife loves Pinkerton. I actually have that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Pinkerton's a fun one. Some of the early ones, and there's a couple others like Van Weezer was fun. But they're all over the place. I give them credit because they keep releasing something different that they want to do themselves.
Sure, yeah.
Not a lot of bands have that freedom. So, and then I picked up my second or third version of Remains.
I was gonna say, don't you have everything?
Yes. They repressed this finally, and this is like a clear vinyl or something else. So I couldn't not get it because I have a problem. But yeah, so that's pretty much it.
All right.
That was good.
Who's up next? Is that Vinnie or?
Sure. You can get Blu-rays and whatnot too.
You can. I just didn't. I don't know why.
I got a lot of those. But I'll show you other things that aren't Blu-rays first. Like, I don't know why I bought this, because it was there. Like, the fun part about Whatnot is going into a show that's like someone's like garage sale or estate sale and then finding shit you want.
You're buying UMDs.
So this was a T2 UMD, just so I can have one from the format. I'll probably end up sending this to Peter one day, but I don't know. It's kind of cool. It says DVD picture quality, as if that's a selling point.
Yeah.
Dolby headphone track.
Ooh.
Wow.
16 by 9.
Yeah, so you don't mess up your mom.
Yeah.
Like, she's watching stuff in the other room.
Right. This I just got recently. I went to a record store the other day, but U2, this is a 5-point DTS CD DVD, which I have a couple. They're hard to find. They're not that hard to find. They're expensive for some reason, but it's cool. But when I actually played them, they sound good. So it's fun to try. You even got an HD DVD, brighteners.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah.
Bad Taste director.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. I'll go through Blu-rays quick. Got these Fincher slipcases, which are cool.
Good releases.
Gone Girl has this amazing
the book,
yeah, which is like a kid's book telling the story of what happens. Yep. It's wild. It's one you see in every single show, and I'm like, let me just get it.
That's a great disc.
$3.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just go to a Whatnot show and feel like I got to get something. This is probably like $1, but why not? DVD, both movies.
Yeah.
Fly through these Blu-rays. Again, people are after horror and stuff, and I'm just there for cool things like The Pawnbroker, which I've never seen. Still in the know.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
Check this out, Luke. Flirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's one of my favorites. Yeah, that's
good one.
really cool.
I think I saw this in the theater, the olive Blu-ray.
I've got the LaserDisc. They're Japanese only laser.
Oh, first, nice.
Yep.
For all in Cell Block 99, which I like.
Sweet.
Phantom Thread.
Ah,
Not holding my breath for Criterion, so I figured this was around for a couple bucks.
I'm surprised there's no Criterion.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Great movie I watched not too long ago. It's really, I mean, it's basically a pandemic movie. It's incredible. Jack Palance. It's set in New Orleans. There's someone's contaminated and there's a virus spreading, and really good noir.
Oh,
I bought a bunch of stuff on Hamilton Books that they had all the movie images, which I've never seen.
Nice.
This is an Arrow. An Arrow, yeah.
Yep.
This is an Arrow. It was like $3 or $4. So I'm curious about it. The thriller that Altman made in the late 60s, maybe early 70s. This was something I'd seen on TCM, one of these sort of during their Christmas marathon. It's called Remember the Night, kind of a lesser known Christmas movie. But I had to get it. It's good. Again, Spencer would care, no one else would.
Archive.
Warner, Warner Archive.
Nice.
Taking in the Dead. War movie.
Are the Warner
Young
archives
Frank.
still like burned? Like, is that a burned?
Only
Blu-ray?
the DVDs.
On
Just
demand.
the DVDs?
The Blu-rays
yeah,
are
no,
Glass
Blu-rays
Masters.
aren't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Young Frankenstein, Steelbook.
Sick.
Cool. It's got tons of extras. Again, I mean, these are cheap. Like, I'm not paying a lot for these things, just so you know. Not that it matters to you, but Side by Side. Has anyone seen this? It's a cool documentary about the transition from film to digital that Keanu Reeves directed.
Wow, no.
Years ago.
But it's got
It's
James
really neat.
Cameron
It's
and
got
David Fincher.
Cameron, Fincher, all the film guys
Yep.
talking about waxing poetic about film. But it's pretty cool. I saw it years ago. This I told you about. I accidentally bought this. It was a bootleg, basically a custom made. I'm like half asleep when I'm ordering and whatnot. It was up there like $5. Like, no one's bidding on this. It's interesting because it had the red case.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just like a straight up custom Blu-ray that someone made for Twilight Zone the movie.
Is
which
there
I
a
have on
Blu-ray of
LD.
that movie? Do you
There
think?
is, yeah.
Oh,
Then why
I don't
would
know,
someone make a bootleg of that? So weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's that rare or anything.
I hope it's a bootleg of the VHS
It's
tape.
the art and
I know.
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Same cover, but the Blu-ray's blue. This is a movie I talked about a lot in our chat. Blast of Silence.
Oh.
Really amazing film noir. Did you watch? You watched it, Luke, didn't you?
No, I haven't.
No?
It's
Yeah.
in the queue. It's in the queue.
Really cool. Also, was also part of the TCM Christmas marathon, which you don't think of. It's set at Christmas time, but obviously not a Christmas movie. It's a crime movie. I have a ton of Criterion. I'm only showing you just a couple. Grab a couple of Melvilles that I haven't seen. Army of Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
Just the DVD version. This just came out in 4K, I think.
Oh.
But I have not seen them. And one of the last Cassavetes movies, Love Streams, which I have not seen. I
A
bought a
DVD
huge
or Blu-ray
lot.
on that guy?
That's a DVD.
Yeah.
I bought a huge bin for like $100 of DVDs and Blu-rays that I sold most of it, but I kept all the Criterions and then some other cool things like this Story of Film documentary. Really cool slipcover.
Oh, it's the eye from
Buñuel?
Oh.
Yeah. Buñuel, yeah.
Yeah.
But it goes from, 1895 to 2000 and on. Pretty cool.
Not Eyeballs.
I'm probably the only person who will hold up a magazine.
Ooh.
So as soon as this list came out, there's an actual print magazine in the UK for Sight and Sound. So
Sean
this was the
Thielman.
new top 100 list. And there's 4, I think there were 4 different covers. Citizen Kane, Vertigo, this one, which is number 1, and something else. They were all immediately like $100 or more to get on each.
Oof.
Like for
Whoa.
weeks. I'm like, I'm not paying $100 for a magazine. I asked my friends in the UK, they couldn't find it. And I just got lucky one day and it was like $25. So it's cool to have the actual issue,
list.
and it's got all the directors lists, all the directors' top 10s in here and stuff. It's really neat. But there are 4 separate covers. And we have not seen each other since Christmas. This was my big Christmas gift from the wife. This is the John Hughes vinyl mixtapes box set.
Oh.
I think there are 6 red vinyl records. It's interesting. They did it as sort of it's not in any real order. It is literally sort of mixed together songs from all the films, but not sequential.
Yeah.
So it is pretty cool. I've been playing this down here. It's neat to just hear stuff that you forgot about, stuff that maybe was unreleased from all the movies. But yeah, there's a little bit from every Hughes film you can see on the cover. That is everything.
Score.
All right.
Good job. All right.
Wake up, Luke.
Yeah, Luke, wake up.
What's going on?
I don't know. You should show some stuff since you woke up.
Anything?
So, yes, I have lots. I'm surrounded by stuff. I can't get rid of it. Okay. I'll start with these. My daughter has been surprisingly obsessed with the show Bob's Burgers.
Nice.
And in a great way. And like Bob's Burgers is teaching her life. She came up to my daughter. She came up to my wife the other day and said, "Mom, did I come out of your vagina?" She's like,
What?
"Where did you hear that from?" Bob's Burgers. Like,
Yeah.
yes. And thank you, Bob's Burgers, for teaching my daughter about life. I wanted to get the vinyl. They put out music from the show, and the vinyl is too much, and it's just little snippets. So I just got the cassette tapes.
Oh.
Bob Burgers 1 and 2.
So small.
Yeah, they're fun. Anyway,
That's cool.
we have a tape player in the bedroom, and we just put it on, and it's fine. I went to Norfolk, Virginia, unfortunately, last week. Found nothing that I wanted, other than I found a nice Last Dragon.
Ooh, yeah.
Got a nice commentary on there. I was like, okay, cool.
Awesome.
For whatever reason, I watched a Jerry Lewis movie. I found a LaserDisc of Nutty Professor, and I was like, this is funny. I would like to watch more. So I got this nice four film set of Jerry Lewis movies. Best one being The Bellboy. It's just really funny. There's not like a straight plot. It's just little funny segments within the hotel. It's amazing. I got this movie that no one else has probably ever heard of or gotten before, Army of Shadows.
Nope.
You
Never
got
heard
the
of it.
Blu-ray.
Yeah, I got the Blu-ray. So the record store, Reanimated Records here, they put out Criterion Blu-rays. This is $10. I was like,
Wow.
yeah, hell yeah. He prices it right. So
Nice.
I get that. Another
Yeah,
movie.
cool.
Yeah. Another movie that no one has ever heard of is this guy right here,
What?
El Santo.
Woohoo.
I have a friend from in the Navy who was on the ship with me. He's a Mexican, and he told me about growing up that he watched these. He's my movie friend, and he told me about, oh yeah, growing up I used to watch these movies about El Santo, and there's like 76 of these fucking things. I mean, he was very prolific. El Santo never took off his mask ever until like
Always the same actor?
Oh yeah, same guy. And the story is like he did take it off. There's video for like a second where he takes it off like much later after he's retired. He took it off, and they said he died a week later. But anyway, this is a Vinegar Syndrome. No one's ever heard of this label.
Nope.
It's pretty cool. I'm super cool. The only guy who knows about it. This one, so Vinnie sent me a awesome region-free player. And this thing has just opened my life up in just great ways. I have a lot of Japanese DVDs that I have a Region 2 player, but I don't like to hook it up, and so they just sit there. But now, I just fucking play whatever I want. It's great. I picked up this guy. It's a long story, but Mr. Vampire 2.
Ooh.
Wife and I saw this at the Alamo in Denver, and we just kind of loved it. It has hopping vampires. There's a whole different thing, Anyway, nice different region of Mr. Anyway, Mr. Vampire
Love
2.
it. The hopping vampires really is a
It's
genre
usually
of its own.
What is this? This is a genre, a type of vampire?
Yeah.
That hops?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have, the thing is they have Post-it notes. They look pretty much like Post-it notes on their foreheads. If you take it off, they come alive. And they don't walk, they hop. They will hop to you. And so Mr. Vampire 2, it's funny. There's a kid, and a kid travels off to this other family. It's just we watched and just kind of fell in love with it. Anyway, got that. All right, on to records, I think. Or no, more movies. Wait, one more. I got the this bad boy right here.
Oh yeah.
Volume 2 of the Shaw Scope. All these Shaw Brothers Blu-rays, just beautifully packaged. The first one was great. The second one seems even better. Has some weird ones in there. Like what's the weird one? I don't know. It's got 36 chambers, which was obviously missing from the old one. The Boxer's Omen looks like I've heard of this movie. I had a bootleg. It's just like a crazy, really crazy looking one. So yeah, excited about that.
Let me know how that is, because I have the crappy LaserDisc
of
Boxer's Omen.
Boxer's Omen, yeah.
I'm thinking the Blu-ray is going to be better. Let's just go ahead and say that.
Yeah, those are all pretty smoking looking.
Yeah. I was watching the other one, the volume 1. I was watching some of those. Like, I've never seen it this good. Like, I've always seen crappy copies of them. Just really great stuff. All right, on to the records, the good stuff. So, all right, this first one. So I'm a big fan of the band Shellac, Steve Albini. Mm-hmm. Steve Albini, a big record producer. He produced In Utero. He also was in Big Black in the 80s. And after Big Black dissolved, he made Shellac. And to me, that's really when I found Shellac in high school and just kind of really fell in love with him. So each record that they put out, like it's numbered on there. And so like if they put out a 7-inch, they say Shellac, this is Shellac record number 1 or Shellac record number 3. Not, each one they put out. So this is Shellac record number 12. And this was only released in the Netherlands.
Wow.
And it was a part of a comic book. So it was a comic book, and then it had the record in the back. It's one of the rarest ones.
Wow. And
then it has the record just kind of back there. It's a great song. Oh, cool. I mean, it's on YouTube, but it's one of those things that I always wanted. And then I think it was on Discogs late, and like some guy in the Netherlands had it for a reasonable price. And I was like, fuck it. Boo, let's do this, baby.
Wow.
And I've never really bought anything from a different country. And I was a little worried, but it came just fine. I mean, it took about a month and a half, but yeah, it was good. All right, more records. I keep telling myself I'm not a Melvin's record collector, but I keep finding Melvin's records.
And they're great.
They put out so much, and it's just, yeah. But this one popped up on eBay, and this is Livestream Obscene, Volume 1, 2, and 3. And the thing about this one, it's the, not the colored vinyl, but the picture disc ones. And it was only released on tour, and then, it's signed by the Melvins. It's just, just has the signatures on there. So I was like, oh, fuck.
No brainer.
Okay, fine. Say what?
No brainer. You got to get it.
Yeah, I got to get it. For more than $40, very much more than that. Anyway, another one I got, the band The Minutemen from the 80s, SST band. Everybody knows this band.
Yep.
From San Pedro, they put out a record called Double Nickels on the Dime.
Oh, best one.
And this is the original pressing of that. The represses of this bastard go for crazy amounts of money. And this one was just sitting on eBay. And I was like, oh, fine, let's go. So it's weird, I've slowed down on LaserDisc. And when you stop spending money, you get bursts of oh my God, I have to spend money. I have to do something. This one, one of my favorite hip hop producers from the 2000s was a guy named Madlib. He's still around. I forget what year it was, but he put out a CD every month for the whole year. And so they put out 1 month was stuff he produced, and then the next month was a mix. And so everything that he produced, he put out this thing called the Madlib Brick.
Oof.
It's just
wow.
It's just the ones where he produced the stuff. Again, I've been wanting this guy for a while, so it's fine, I don't care. It was a decent price. Let's see, a few more records. All right. Last time I was in Seattle, I saw this guy, Pearl Jam 20. I saw this in the record store, and it was pretty expensive. And I left, and I was like, oh, man, I really want that. and I came back and it was gone. Like it was just not on the wall anymore. And so I came home and I bought the bootleg, the bootleg for much less.
That's the Ryan move.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A few more. So in the chat, I've been talking about the Velvet Underground documentary.
Oh.
You got to watch this documentary. I don't know how much you guys have listened to the Velvet Underground, but even if just you heard heroin and that's it, or just rock and roll, like you've got to watch this documentary. They put out a Criterion Blu-ray. Mine has not come in yet. I ordered it, but just most talking head documentaries where they just have a guy, oh yes, this band is great, whatever, is usually pretty boring to me. But this one, they do great. Like they show all these Andy Warhol visuals on there, and it's just amazing. And the way that the people that are still alive talk, it's almost like they kind of piece together just fragments of their thoughts. It's not like a straight ahead narrative. I loved it. I've watched it like 4 times now. I mean, so it's really good. So anyway, I picked up John Cale, Slow Dazzle. John Cale being the viola player / bassist for he got kicked out of the band, and then he did his own solo career, and then he produced like, I don't know, the Stooges, and then
Oh, that.
yeah. So the Stooges and Nick Drake. So yeah, he's in the movie, and he's like, you watch him, you're like, he's the coolest person alive. Like he's the last one. All right, so Blue Note has been putting out these Tone Poet records.
Oof.
Cool.
These are brand new records, or $25, $30, whatever. These pressings are amazing. Like just the best sounding things ever. I got the Coltrane one, like at the record store, they had the original mono, and I listened to that, and then I listened to the Tone Poet. I'm like, I'm going with the Tone Poet. This sounds better than the original one. If I see these now, I'm just going to buy them. Like I don't care. I'm blind buying them. They're great. McCoy Tyner, piano player, was with Coltrane. Always been a favorite. Great record. Great sounding record. Highly recommend. Yep. Awesome. That's it, man. That's about it. Wow. And that's how I spent $5,000 on music.
All right.
Not that much.
Who's going to follow that up?
I'll go.
All right, Marcus, what do you got?
Yeah, I'll be pretty quick. Let's see. So I've shared last couple times I've shared that I got a 4K TV and a 4K player just recently. So I've been looking for a reference, for most part reference video, not reference video 4K stuff. And I'm looking for the steelbook versions of these films. So one I picked up recently, Ready Player One, supposed to have really good visuals in 4K. So excited to have the steelbook of that.
Sweet.
A couple other steelbooks that I got a week ago. Wakanda Forever came out with 2 steelbooks.
Those are great.
Yeah, great.
Best Buy exclusive. So I pre-ordered them and picked them up last Tuesday.
Wow.
So excited to have those. Let's see, since we're allowed to do VHS, I don't have very much VHS at all, but I am looking to have The Wizard, which is one of my favorite 80s films, across all formats it was released on. So it came out with 2 different versions of 2 different releases of VHS. The first one was from Universal, and the second one was from Good Times. You can see slight differences in the cover art.
Yeah.
And the Good Times one is much more rare. So I was excited to track that one down.
Sweet.
Oh.
And let's see, wife and I celebrated our 20-year wedding anniversary last in December.
Wow.
Thank you.
So you got married when you were 0? How old were you?
Yeah, I was like 3. I was 3.
Driving to this JDM.
Exactly. So we went down to Laguna Beach and spent about 4 or 5 days down there at a hotel right on the beach, which was cool. Laguna Beach has a art gallery, and in the art gallery, you can't tell you how excited I was that one of the featured galleries in this art gallery was about a film and the filmmaking process for this particular film. It's called 5 Summer Stories.
Oh.
And it was filmed I believe it was in the 70s. over several years. And the director traveled around to all the hot spots for surfing, right? So Hawaii, California, that sort of thing. And they had like the camera that he like homemade built a waterproof camera. So they had his camera because that stuff didn't exist back then, right?
Yeah.
So he had to create it himself. And so of course, as we were on our way out, I assumed that they would have a DVD copy in the gift shop, right? So I asked the woman, I'm like, can I buy the DVD? And she's like, well, no, we don't have any copies. I'm like, you guys should really get those. Lots of people buy it.
Yeah.
So I went on the hunt to find the DVD copy, which was not very easy to track down. It was on eBay, but I figured, particularly given this like really thin, case, I'm like, this is a bootleg. Like this can't be real. And so I messaged the seller, and he said that he a long time ago, he purchased the rights for this film.
Oh, wow.
And several others to be the like sole distributor, and he just happens to sell them on eBay. So it was totally legit. It came sealed, and so I need to check this out. But looking forward to seeing that.
Because I've heard about that movie, but just as a legend. Like nobody I know has actually owned it.
Yeah, so they say it's like the greatest surfing movie ever made. So
wow.
I'll have to compare it to others.
That's awesome.
Let's see. My last two are from Luke. I don't even remember what we were talking about, Luke, but somehow this movie came up, Raiders of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah.
And Luke, and I've never heard of this. And Luke mentioned, and even on the back it says, a teenager has taken a laser out of a video disc player and made a weapon of it. So use a laser from a laser disc player as a weapon in zombies. That's all I need to hear. Tell me nothing more.
Nice.
I want to see this film. So
No,
Luke
you
happened to
don't.
have a copy and sent it to me.
That's great.
So thank you, Luke.
Yeah, no problem. That's a weird one. So there's 3 movies on that disc, and it was one of like where somebody bought the rights to a movie and they changed it up one time and they changed it up another time. But back to movies that like are painful to watch. I tried it, and that's a grind, man. That's like a let's see the guy drive from point A to point B in real time kind of movie. Yeah.
So this will be a Halloween 2023
There you go.
spin for sure. All right, and the last one from Luke. This one isn't about the film itself. It's about what it represents. Okay. So on the last podcast, I claimed that I was very close to being Spike Lee complete on Spike Lee complete. I'm only missing School Days and Girl 6, Japan. I have all the other Spike releases. Recently got Get on the Bus, Vinnie. I know you've got that one. That one's hard to find. Japan. So Luke quickly pointed out that there are other releases that I must have in my collection if I'm going to consider myself Spike Lee complete. One of them is Nina 6 or
Nina
Girl
6.
6 Espanol, right? So I've got this prominently displayed on top of my Kallax. And every time I see it, it brings a smile to my face. Cool. And reminds me never to use the word complete around you all because you all will prove to me that I am nowhere near complete when I think I'm done.
Yeah. So, you come back when we're Mexican tape complete, bro.
Right.
Is that dubbed or is it like?
It is subtitled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I said I was Scorsese complete once, and I get a new Scorsese Japanese disc every month.
Yeah, right. So thank you, Luke. Thank you, Luke, for this.
No, thank you.
All right, that's it for me.
All right, what's Hayden got? Let's see what you got. Do you have anything?
Hayden's got a couple things.
Nice.
Got this here. I've actually never seen this. I've wanted to see it for a while. Tremors.
Oh, nice.
So
Awesome.
decided to pick that up. And then this we actually watched on streaming. I haven't had a chance to watch the Blu-ray yet, but picked it up. Promare, anime film that came out a couple years ago by the same people that made Gurren Lagann, which is one of my favorite anime series of all time. And it definitely feels like a spiritual sequel to it, even though it's a completely different thing. And then this is not a Wonka's Golden Ticket, but is in fact a CD single
What?
containing the opening and closing theme for the Gao Gaigar anime series, which I've seen a little bit of. I really like. I want to finish it. It's a very dumb, silly, feel-good show with really, really slick animation. I found out this existed, and someone on eBay had it for like $9, and I was like,
That was my question. Where would one find that?
Sick packaging.
yeah, I was trying to find just the soundtrack CD, and then I happened to find this, and it's like, well, the opening theme is all I really want anyway. So that's
Sure.
it. That's all I've got.
All right. What's Max got?
I'm gonna show you my Valley Girls.
Yeah.
Are you Valley Girl complete?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm Valley Girl complete. I
All right.
kind of hope so. The OG Vestron. I actually just picked this up last weekend.
Sweet.
So on my stacks, I have them, with all the spines. This one's from press 83. This is
Yeah, that's a later one, right?
92. Good Times.
Yeah.
This one I love the Spino. And then this one's from 96.
Nice.
But
Nice
the funny
font
thing is,
on the
like,
cover of that.
yeah, all these covers are like really good, but they all don't have the actual actress who plays Julie in any of the poster art.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
It's the girl that like he was, I guess, formerly dating, the one that he visits in the bathroom of the club.
Yes.
That is her
Visits.
face
That's crazy.
dressed in Julie's kind of clothing style with a wig, I believe.
So what's the story behind that? Do you know?
The director of Valley Girl was at one of the showings at the New Bev, and she Martha Coolidge was talking about it, and basically just said, like, I don't know, I guess she just wasn't, like, they hadn't picked her. I don't know what the whole, I don't remember it all, but like there was something where they had to do the photo shoot and she was there, and so they just
do it.
They never just like swapped her face in, like, and like I always thought that was strange, and I'm like, even after all these pressings, guys, we never once did like a change over to action. And it's funny too, none of these even really like prominently mention Deborah Foreman.
That's rough.
Like it's all Nicolas Cage introducing Nicolas Cage,
Yeah, he's not the star. He's not the Valley Girl.
He's not the Valley Girl.
Like they couldn't even just cut her face out of a screenshot from the movie,
Like
or something,
literally,
and
that's
just
what I was thinking.
add it
Like by
in?
this point in time,
They
we
had
still have
Photoshop.
fun.
Yeah,
Hayden could do that in like 2 minutes.
I know.
yeah, I could do
How
that
was-
with my
did you
eyes
ever
closed.
watch
Surely
the-
someone could do
There
it.
was a reboot, right? Did you ever watch it?
I
Couple
can't.
years ago?
We don't. Speak
We don't
about
talk
this
about
You
house.
don't talk about it, or I
We don't
forgot about
speak
it.
of this in this house.
Voldemort.
Sorry.
I mean, I heard just too many things for me not to feel like I wanted to watch it. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Apparently, it's kind of just borderline musical. I really like.
Mm.
I don't know what they were thinking.
Okay.
And it was like kind of in a time where I think it quietly went unnoticed because of the time that it was released
It was
too.
pandemic,
Like,
probably 2020. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it really kind of didn't.
Yeah.
And that I will take that because I'd rather something. It's kind of like the Gem and the Holograms movie. Like no one
Right.
needs to know that existed.
Yeah.
Like
Just let it disappear.
it literally got yanked from theaters. It went down so
Yeah.
bad. It was horrible.
Man.
So,
Cool.
but yeah, just figured I'd show those.
Sweet. Was that everybody? Did we get through the whole group?
That's it.
It's everybody.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Let's do recommendations. Let's see what I'm going to recommend. It's been since Christmas, right? So I'll
Yeah.
recommend for the weeaboos out there. It's not anime, but on Netflix, season 2 of Alice in Borderland was really entertaining. I know Chris Haller also watched it as well. But if you liked Squid Game, it's it's based on a manga that came out way before Squid Game, but it's these kids are trapped, like a slacker teen and his friends are trapped into this kind of alternate reality, or maybe Tokyo, and everybody is gone, and there's people are forced to play these barbaric games, and this one really ramps things up to the next level. Really good, intense stuff, and messes with your heart, and really puts the characters at the ringer. But really good watch, really intense stuff. What do you got, Ryan?
I watched the new Nicolas Cage movie, The Old Way. It's a Western.
Wow.
So basically,
Wow.
it's like a revenge film. Nicolas Cage is a outlaw who's settled down and has a general store, a wife, and a daughter, and he's just a normal guy. And then this guy comes back for revenge. It's the son of someone he killed, and kills his wife. And so he goes out with his daughter and gets revenge. It was okay. It had Clint Howard as one of the bad guys, and he was fantastic. So automatic win there. And it had some very interesting sequences and dialogue. And Nick Cage sported a fantastic mustache to start the movie.
Okay.
So if you're a fan of Cage, check it out. If you're not,
Yes.
it's passable. So.
Nice. Vinnie, what do you got?
I've been watching over the course of a few nights because it's too much to watch at once. The All Quiet on the Western Front, the German version,
Not the silent film.
It's on. No, not the silent film. It's on Netflix. It's intense. It's like, I mean, it Saving Private Ryan is like, it's like a child's play compared to what is happening in this movie. It's really intense and it's really good. Amazing score. It's cool. I've got like an hour left in it. Maybe I'll try to watch it tonight, but it's really, really good. If you like war movies. What else? I loved Paul T. Goldman on Peacock. If you like The Rehearsal or Nathan Fielder's stuff, it's really hard to describe, but totally fun and bonkers. You just gotta watch it.
Okay.
Finished it? You're all
What's
done?
that?
You finished the whole thing?
It's great.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's sort of, it's docu-reality, and by the time it finishes, they're sort of caught up to the moment where they're actually airing this show, and it's crazy. It's really good. Check it out.
Sweet. Luke, what do you got?
Like I said, the Velvet Underground documentary, could not recommend that enough. But
Where can
What's
you
it
find
called?
that? Yeah, what's the name
I
of
feel
it?
like there's a bunch of them.
oh,
It
you'll
was the one that
never
was in
remember.
theaters last
It's
year.
called what? It was like 2
Was it
years
the one-
ago.
Oh,
Say what? It's on Apple TV.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
No, yeah, a lot of you guys got that, but there is a Blu-ray, a Criterion Blu-ray. Oh, the name of it, you'll never remember it. It's called The Velvet Underground.
Oh, the villain, that one.
There you go.
2021. Okay, I see it.
I remember when it came out, but had it was still COVID time and not a big
Yeah.
release at all. I wanted to see it, but I never did.
I will check it out because it is a band I know some of, but always wanted to know more about. So yeah, definitely check it out.
They'll tell, yeah, and it's really just all about the band from like they don't veer off in any solo careers at all, really.
Yeah.
Just about that. The other show I watched was Poker Face. I watched episode 1.
I'm watching that too.
I'm going to
It
start
was
that
really good,
this
but
week.
episode 2 really took a nosedive for me in a weird way, and it's like lazy writing kind of way. They're like, and then they figured out who killed it. There you go.
They do get better. I've had it hit. Yeah, it's based on the case. It's sort of hit or miss. If the case is fun and you're into it, then it's fun.
I'm going to keep trying. Wife and I are enjoying watching it. So that's it.
Cool. Marcus, you got anything?
Yeah, we recently finished up Wednesday.
Oh, that was fun.
I finished it up for a second time. Watched it with my kids the second time. They really enjoyed it. And interesting to see Scream, whatever number they're on at this point.
Yeah.
The newest Scream.
4, 5? Yeah.
It's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
With
6,
with,
Scream 6.
the lead woman in that film. So
The last
supposedly it's doing
movie
pretty
seemed
good
like
at the box office.
the last movie just come out. Like that seems pretty quick.
It did.
It did, yeah.
Like what, 18 months
Last
ago?
year?
It doesn't feel like
It was
more than
good.
that.
I liked the last movie. I'll see the new one.
Yeah, same here. That's about it for me.
Jeremy just showed up in the chat. What's up, Jeremy? All right, who's next? Hayden, did you go?
Sure. I guess it's kind of cheating since I recommended this last time, but I finally got to see it. So Shin Ultraman, the greatest thing ever made. Nothing will ever top it.
Okay, cool.
It revived my faith in the human spirit. So
Wow.
yeah,
Really?
it's done by Shinji Higuchi and Hideaki Anno, who of course also did Shin Godzilla, and Hideaki Anno did Evangelion. So this movie has a lot to say. A lot to say about the worth of human life and all that sort of thing. But you get fun monster fights in the middle of it, and a guy in a big silver and red diving suit fighting the monsters. So
Win.
Yeah.
Cool. Max, what do you got?
Ooh, okay. Well, I on Netflix I've been watching like World War II in color.
Okay.
Like and then I saw what I see. Oh, I saw Megan in theaters finally.
Cool.
The
creepy doll
like,
kind of thing, right?
Chucky,
Yeah.
creepy doll, yeah. Honestly, like I didn't really wasn't sure. Like I thought maybe it's gonna be kind of a Chucky vibe. Like it kind of was, but I don't know. There was definitely something like the kind of be careful what you're building because you don't really know what you're messing with type. Like it's learning too well, like AI concept. I thought it was like pretty like I don't know, maybe like a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I think it was pretty good. I liked the overall aesthetic, but I feel like there were just some like weird plot holes, but just overall, like I saw it late at night. I was like one of the only people in that theater, so it was like it was a different vibe. Maybe it would have been cooler with more people, but
like reacting and freaking out. Yeah.
It was like playing on a Tuesday, and it's like the only time it was playing on Tuesday was 10:15 p.m. I'm like, guess I'm seeing it.
Let's see. Oh, we got a question in the chat. Why is my LaserDisc picture shake when skipping chapters or pausing? Thank you. I've had that. Yeah, it's something in the signal chain's a little funky. I mean, it could either be the TV's not liking the signal, or something's out of calibration. Yep, I know that's
as well.
That's the thing. It's kind of tough to troubleshoot. But I've seen if you've got things going through like a processor or like a receiver or something, sometimes they don't like the signal and it gets a little jittery, especially with those CAV still frames and things like that. So I don't know. So the question is, we're not sure, or the answer is we're not sure.
Yeah,
but it could be the player, could be something external.
Yeah,
maybe try running it through a retro tank, see if that fixes it.
There you go.
Clean it right up. 5 retro tanks.
Well, yeah, the 5X X5. So there you go. Glad we were able to maybe help, but maybe not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen that before where like I would hook things through like a random Ferrugia box and it would get all jittery and stuff. But the player was fine because I've used that player since on other things. So, but yeah, it could be a calibration issue like Hayden said.
Yeah.
So if it does need calibration, Hayden will come to your house and fix it for you. So.
Oh yeah, you definitely want me fixing electronics. They will definitely still work, period, when I'm done with them.
Good to know. Good to know. Let's see. Let's do final thoughts and what's spinning next. I've been doing a lot of music video stuff, so I'm probably just going to keep on trucking with that. Been watching stuff from Akiko Yano, who is a Japanese. She does a lot of more jazzy stuff in later years, but she was involved in a lot of the city pop stuff early on. So cool. I got like 4 of her discs I've been going through. And that's about it. What do you got up next, Ryan?
I think the wife and child are asleep, so it's going to be a Hong Kong box. Because
have you started? Or?
No, I definitely probably don't want to watch that with my child around.
Yeah, maybe not. At first, I thought you were like, "Oh, wife and child are ready to watch Hong Kong action."
Not Cat 3, whatever that is. So yeah, no.
Good times. All right, it looks like we might have helped Drake, so you're welcome. Well, Luke with the random Hellraiser flex back there.
Wow.
Check that.
Whatever.
What are you watching next? What's on tap for you?
You guys heard of Holy Virgin versus the Evil Dead?
I've heard tales, yeah.
Yes. Anyway, we're going to talk about that another time. But there you go.
Excellent. Vinnie, what's on tap?
I'm going to finish All Quiet on the Western Front.
Any LDs?
Gosh. Some of the ones I just got.
I was going to say, hopefully you watch them eventually.
Yeah, these Ronin Noirs are cool because they're like 70 minutes.
Yep.
You know, those are always easy to watch. Just so much stuff. And there's still plenty of movies from last year I haven't seen that I want to see.
Sure.
Like Tar.
That's streaming now, right? On Peacock?
Yeah, yeah, Tar's out there. So, yeah, a couple things I want to cram in before the Oscars.
You having a party?
I invite people over every year. Sometimes, sometimes it's 40 people, sometimes it's 1. You never know.
Yeah.
So we'll see who shows up.
Oh yeah, Subliminal Vibes just said, "Rest in peace, YMO." Yeah, Yukihiro Takahashi passed since the last episode, so I showed all my LDs on Instagram. And Ryuichi Sakamoto has recurring cancer issues, so yeah, sad days. But anyways, on to brighter things. Marcus, what are you going to spin up next?
I am still getting through the Aim for the Ace anime.
Tennis, right?
So it's tennis. 26 episodes. I'm through like 15 or 16, so I still got a little bit to go. And then I'm definitely spinning Fugitive Squeeze, just because I've been after that one for a while. So that'll probably be up next.
Score. Was it Hayden? What do you got? Did we do you? No.
Yeah, just gonna take a million years getting through all the recent pickups. And then my girlfriend and I I started True Detective season 2. She's wanted to show me seasons 2 and 3 for the longest time. We watched 1 forever ago, so we finally started watching that.
Dumper.
Vince Vaughn is so weird. I don't know what it is about Vince Vaughn. He's just the weirdest human being for me to watch. The character he plays in season 2 doesn't seem like, but I don't know. We'll see how that pans out.
All right. And Max, what are you spinning? Oh, cool.
I've been wanting this one.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was. It was just like I watched some like review of from like October from Angry Video Game Nerd, like Cinemassacre whole thing, like, and he was talking about all these remakes of classic horror stuff, and like this was the one that he said was like top of his list, and like I have not seen this.
Wow.
So really I don't know, highly recommended, and I like a lot of his taste in terms of like other horror stuff, so I like his takes on things.
Yeah, that'll be a fun watch for sure.
Yeah.
So cool. See, Vinny, we didn't last 4 hours. We came in under, so it's a short podcast.
Are we under 4?
Yeah, we're under 4. So
7 minutes.
So you lost the bet.
My son just texted me. He's like, "You're still in the podcast?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "I didn't know podcasts last 5 hours."
It's not. It's not even 4.
Yeah.
Just tell him.
Right.
He's wrong.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
thanks for everybody for hanging out and partaking in
fun.
this weird journey that Vinny sent us on.
Yeah, thanks, Vinny.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Anytime.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was fun.
Yeah, even if we didn't
No,
like the
anytime.
films,
Never
we
too
enjoyed the journey.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily I liked the film, so yeah, good deal. So yeah, cheers. We'll be back
All
again
right.
with some more shenanigans. I don't know what the next theme is, but we'll figure it out, and we'll be back. And